And with Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
It's Bart and Carlin. Apparently the show's starting. Speaker in here is not working. The speaker in the studio is not working. So put on your headphones, junkie. Let's get to work. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. I can only assume Bart is in a parking situation similar to yesterday and will be here momentarily. And I have to say, the snow is wreaking havoc in my life even 4 days later. And we've got so much to get to. Jason McCourty this hour. Connor Hughes next hour from SNY about the Jets situation. We're going to start with the Jets because I have what I would consider to be somewhat new insight into what might be going on. And let's also call it an educated opinion into what might be going on with this entire situation with coordinators. We have to get to Eli Manning and the Hall of Fame, because Eli Manning himself is not getting to the Hall of Fame, apparently, this year. We will get to that in a little bit. We will get to the Knickerbockers and Giannis Antetokounmpo in just a little bit. But once again, the snow is wreaking havoc upon my life, so much so that it has now affected my ability to completely ignore traffic laws in New Jersey. And that is a staple of my driving style coming to New York. Good morning, Bart.
What up, Say?
What's worse, the cold or the snow?
It's the snow, because it's so cold that the snow isn't being removed. So you have these snow piles everywhere. So 2 lanes become 1 lane, but it gets up to bottlenecking when you get up to it. And then, people want to ride the lane that they know about the bottleneck and then want you to be polite to let them over when you know that they knew that it was bottlenecking, but they wanted to try and jump in front of a bunch of people, then cut over.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like, now they have these big things, especially like in front of like the Dominique, like my little, well, I can't tell people my duck off spot. But, they got like, instead of coming with a little snow removal machine.
Duck off spot at the George Washington Bridge?
No.
Because I know it.
No, I'm talking about around here to find parking.
Oh,
I want to tell nobody my parking spots, right? They got the big, instead of having, because they're doing construction around here on the corner forever, right?
Right.
They've been doing stuff around there by the Starbucks for seemed like a year and a half. It's amazing, like when you watch the people in China, when they put a whole road in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then you look here, they've been digging the same hole by Starbucks since we've been here.
Yeah.
Literally, since me and you came here this time last year, whatever they fixing in there, it ain't going to get fixed.
Oh, it's been there forever.
Forever. Just stop.
Well, this morning I made one of the great mistakes that you can make, and the snow did me in.
Ooh.
So, Bart, I come from New Jersey, and I take Route 78 in.
Correctamundo.
Okay? And I take it in, and I go to interchange 14 on the turnpike and go right through and go through Bayonne and all that.
Yep.
So I am on 78, but somehow this morning I ended up on the local side going toward the airport as opposed to the express side.
Exactly.
So I go on the local side, and this is by accident.
Rookie.
And what happened? No, it's not even rookie. It was just, it caught my eye. Like I was thinking about something this morning that was caught up in a thought process, and I looked over and, oh, crap, I'm on the local side. So what happens? Naturally, you get to the point where the local side is jammed up. It is, I'm looking at Waze. It is redder than my head in 10 degrees below zero.
Redder than Mike Shanahan.
Exactly. Exactly. Redder than Tom Coughlin in Green Bay.
Yes.
So, I can't get through. Now, there are not the medians that don't allow you to cross over. There are certain areas where it stops in the median where there is a crossover to the express side style.
For law only? For law enforcement only?
That's a gray area. I can't listen. I can't determine what is for law enforcement only.
Well,
there might be a sign that says it's for law enforcement only, but everything's happening at once. How am I supposed to read everything at once?
Yeah.
So anyway, Bart, I see it. It is cruising in the express lane, and I see the opening. Now there's snow.
Yes.
Now there's all of this big.
You driving an SUV or you driving a car?
I'm driving
sedan?
a car.
Oh.
The median is all snow, piles of snow, until you get to the one little thing where it's tamped down. Okay. All right. Big fella, time to make the move. Time to make the move. Pull over, pull through, and then.
You scraped the bottom.
Stuck. The bottom. Stuck underneath. It was
deeper than you thought.
Exactly. It was a higher thing than I thought it was, and as a result, can't go forward, can't go backward.
Hydroplane.
And even if I'm trying to do it, if I put the car into gear in reverse and hit the gas, there are cars coming this way.
You just talked about like you being one of the guys that help people when you sit in.
Exactly.
Just yesterday.
And then when I put it into drive, if I hit the gas, there are all people coming right there in the lane. So, and when you're trying to get out of snow and you're trying to get the wheel spinning, you cannot control what's happening.
You dig yourself in more.
So, Bart, I'm stuck, and I get out of the car.
Oh,
and
that's dangerous
literally, and it's not like I have a shovel to dig myself out. I've got like the little window scraper that I'm under the car trying to dig out underneath.
Hand scoop.
Yeah, exactly. And I get out, and I notice that the front left tire is off the ground. So what am I going to do here? Because if I
can always push it back a little bit.
No, but you couldn't go either way.
Oh, yeah, because if you're pushing it, you can't stop it when you put it in neutral.
And if I get out, I did get out for a second and put it in neutral and tried to give it a little bit of a shove. But then if you do, car goes over into traffic.
Yeah. And you're responsible for the accident.
Exactly. So this is a real no-win.
With them calves, why didn't you just mush?
I tried, man. You think I didn't activate? I activated those calves. Wasn't working. So anyway, I'm like, what am I going to do here? Because if I call somebody to come and do this, it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
And there's also an excellent chance that at some point a police officer is going to come along.
Try to do?
And he might help me out, but he's also giving me a ticket. There's no question.
Just tell me you had a mild stroke.
So
well, I'm better now.
Look at me. Should I try to make my left side of my face droop?
My blood pressure.
I'm sorry, I had a problem here.
My blood pressure.
And so anyway, I start doing this thing where I'm turning the wheel in the front. I turn it all the way right. Hit the gas. Turn it all the way left. Turn the gas, and it starts to shift a little bit. Oh, here we go. Turn it all the way right. Back up. Turn it all the way left. I need momentum. Can't back up. It's not doing anything. Turn it all the way right. Catches. Bang.
Out. Now, did you? This is the question.
20 minutes.
No, this is the question. Did you stay on the express side, or did you go back to the local side?
Oh no, I went to the express side. If I'm going through all that, I'm not going back to sit in traffic on the other side.
You just hit it with a little bit more boom boom to give you that momentum to get over that thing.
And I'll tell you one other thing that I noticed that really aggravated me. And it was a realization just now that I probably should have had a lot earlier. There are people who will be in what you think are unmarked police cars.
Yeah.
But they're actually not unmarked police cars where they will hit a siren or they will hit their lights or they will hit something, and it's just their excuse and their way of using the shoulder. And I saw a couple of those guys today.
Yeah.
Because if this was actually a police car, that guy is stopping and handing me a ticket. And being honest, I deserved a ticket for trying to do what I did.
He's a crossing guard.
Well, he's not a crossing guard.
No,
I think he's a guy that went to one of the chop shops behind where Shea used to be, and got some work done. And do me a favor, while we're at it, let's throw some sirens in there and see if we can use that to our advantage.
But also what they do is they ride the side, but they buy those former cars, like police cars, from like auctions. Like you can get them from like auctions, and then they still have some of the police stuff on it. But they're not, they're not really like police cars. They're just former police cars, and they all blacked out. And they all usually Ford Tauruses or something like that. And you're like, oh man, here come the cops. And they drive by, you see weed smoke coming out. I'm like, oh man, ain't no damn cop. Hey, officer! It's like that joke that Dave Chappelle used to say when he said that he approached this woman that was dressed like a prostitute, and he asked her, hey, how much? And she said, what are you doing? Like, I'm not a prostitute. It's like, well, you're dressed in a prostitute uniform. So it's like, that's just like me going to the Halloween shop and get a police outfit, and somebody run me, officer, excuse me, ma'am. Just because I'm dressed like a police officer don't mean I'm a police officer. More of the story is, don't dress like something that you're not.
Out of all of that, that's the moral of the story. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube page. And so with all of that as your backdrop to begin today, we start with the Jets and what the heck is going on. Now, the Brian Duker news came down yesterday during the show that he's going to be their defensive coordinator. So I took myself mentally through this timeline, and I want to discuss this with you.
Yep.
Connor Hughes is going to join us at 11 from SNY. And he put out an interesting timeline, so to speak, about what happened yesterday, or what happened over the last few days between the Jets and Wink Martindale and all of that. And so I naturally am looking for it this morning and now cannot find it off the top of my head about what this is.
Well, he'll bring it back.
Oh, it's in the text. Group text. Let's see. I'll pull it up here.
The thing is, he's the one
okay, here's what happened.
Stuff.
So this is Connor Hughes on what happened on SNY's Jet videos. Wink Martindale, and this is a direct quote, Martindale and Glenn began discussing a partnership in December, with talks heating up to the point where Martindale pieced together a staff and began telling sources SNY touched base with that it was a done deal. The plan was to have Martindale run the defense. Saturday, Martindale flew to Florham Park for an in-person interview. This was believed to be a formality. Dot the I's, cross the T's, here's your office, there's the cafeteria. Upon Martindale's arrival, talking to sources close to the situation, the original plan discussed between him and Glenn changed. The head coach said he wanted to call the defensive plays. This was not something previously discussed with Martindale or other candidates the Jets touched base with. This is where a potential partnership between Martindale and the Jets fell apart, and why Jim Leonard was never considered a realistic option. Sources told SNY Monday that the Jets now preferred a lesser-known coordinator with Glenn calling the plays. They found that in Duker. As you hear all of that, what do you make of that?
This is Aaron Glenn saying he wants to go down his way. He wants to go down with his philosophies, his belief system. He does it, and also he wants to get the credit. But the thing is, when you get the credit, you also get the blame, right? So why would I be an established play caller, defensive coordinator, and come in and sit on the sidelines? And what is he doing when plays are being called? Just putting on a fake headset and walking around with a sheet? Meanwhile, you're calling the plays? You don't think, how long will you think it take before people start saying your mouth is the one that's moving when things are happening? You're the one, like, people can tell who's calling the plays. So why the hell would I come here when I'm not going to get any credit if I'm not calling the plays, even though they're my plays or my system. So this just tells me that Glenn wants to go down his way, and that's fine. But don't discuss and play like you're going to get a guy that anybody else respects. Essentially, you're the defensive coordinator. So why are you looking for a coordinator if you're the coordinator? So the fact that you're going to name, what's his name,
Duker.
Yeah, whatever. The fact that you're going to name him is irrelevant because he's nothing but a puppet.
So here's my thought on this. As I continue to dive into it more, Aaron Glenn is exceptionally smart. He is exceptionally smart.
Is he?
He is.
Okay.
And when I see this and you go through all of those discussions for a month and a half, and you get to this point and you're coming in and everybody's on an understanding, and all of a sudden it has changed when you got here, this is like the bait and switch to me. I cannot imagine for a moment that Aaron Glenn, with the respect level that he has for coaches, is going to do that with a coach and then all of a sudden bring him in and it's a bait and switch and it's his idea. So here's where I would say my educated theory comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there is any pause to this or possibility of reality to this? Look at what's happened with Robert Saleh this year. Okay?
Okay.
Jets fire him. He becomes the coordinator for the 49ers again.
Mm-hmm.
He has an unbelievable year after losing his two best defensive players and lost to Funga in free agency last year.
Correct.
Along with Dre Greenlaw, I might add, too.
Correct.
They somehow got as far as they did. Saleh immediately gets a head coaching job and was interviewed by a bunch of different people. What that tells Woody is, well, must have been the Jets' fault, not maybe Robert Saleh's fault, because Saleh's doing all this stuff. And so what I thought was, did Woody at some point after what happened with Saleh say to Glenn, you know what? You're calling the plays.
Nope.
And then we're going to have somebody else take care of the offense.
Nope.
Why not?
I don't think Woody would get involved. Woody's saying, hey, man, you better get it fixed. Simple as that. You got to get it fixed. It's up to you. It's your decision to get it fixed. I don't think Woody's going to get involved in that. If anything, Woody loves the fact that you get a brand name at a coordinator. If we would have got Wink Martindale, if we would have got Jim Leonard, if we would have got Jim Schwartz, that would have just brought more positive press. This ain't no positive press. Duker, it looks like a mess. This is nothing but another embarrassment, another making the Jets the donkey of the day type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at them. Told you they don't know what the hell they doing. They interviewed 8 people, and then they hired a ninth person, and the ninth person is the least qualified person, the person that we don't know. Like, Woody wouldn't want to do that. He would have loved the shiny toy. He would have loved, okay, man, we got Frank Wright, and now we got Wink Martindale. Oh, man, everybody, look, the Jets are serious. Now they're serious in free agency. Now, look, they got guys that they know they're going to get it fixed. Now free agents say, hey, man, I don't know about the Jets. They sucked last year on defense. But, man, Wink Martindale know how to coach. I'll go there with Wink. I like that type of defense. I like playing that type of defense. This is nothing but another joke. You hired a ninth person, and a ninth person, somebody we ain't never even heard of.
Listen, we agree that there is a perception problem of people not wanting to take the Jets' job. But if this was locked down and it was a done deal why would
then you fire the coaches?
But why would Aaron change his mind?
Why would he fire the coaches?
Well, he fired the coaches because it sounded like Wink had his guys that he was going to bring in. So he thought this was a done deal, but then all of a sudden, I'm calling the plays. You had to know that wasn't going to fly with Wink.
Of course, but that's what I'm saying. If you're going to essentially become the defense coordinator, why not work with the people that you work with anyway? Now you got to go get new linebacker coaches, new defensive line coaches. All the people that Wink already had that filled out. He already had those people vetted. Probably had those people waiting on a job. Saying, bet, all right, you're going to get announced and you're going to hire us. Look, he already fired the staff. Wink's probably, before he came out here thinking it's a done deal, oh, man, telling the other coach, all right, baby, a couple of days, get ready, get your stuff in order, be ready to come out here, let's get busy, let's go to the Senior Bowl, let's start looking at people, let's start breaking out tape, let's start going for the people we like, let's start getting our personnel, let's go look at their big board, all that stuff washed underneath the rug. Now you got to go find. Now you got to go find. And guess what? If that's the case, do you want to coach here? Or do you want to coach in Cleveland where they got Myles Garrett? You want to coach here? Or you want to try and go coach a place where you know you're gonna have a lead when you got Josh Allen? You want to coach here? Or you want to go coach in Baltimore where they got Kyle Hamilton, Metabike coming back, Wiggins, all those other players too. Like now, once again, now you try to fight for coaches and position coaches when you the fifth best spot to go to.
But I don't understand why Aaron Glenn would change his mind like that, because there's no way that Aaron Glenn doesn't know how Wink wants this to be. And he also knows that there's no chance that Wink is going to go for this. Why would he change his mind last week, Bart? That's what I want to know. Because to me, it feels like somebody stepped in and changed his mind for him.
Nah, because to me, he must be feeling like, yo, look at all these other people. Maybe Robert Saleh's going to call the plays himself. He's a head coach.
I bet you Saleh will call the defensive plays.
Right, because he knows he doesn't have to worry about offense.
Yep.
So
maybe that's what maybe that's what he's trying to do with defense.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to get Frank Wright and maybe Frank Wright, because we'll talk to Connor. Connor's the one that first broke the Frank Wright news. And then after the Frank Wright news came out, Boomer kind of confirmed it, being one of his best friends. But with all that being said, it looks like a fire drill.
Well, this brings me to this point, and this is the bigger one overall. I wonder how people in that building right now, staff, players, now look at Aaron Glenn as far as a leader. Because the whole reason that you're supposed to bring him here was to be a leader. We knew he was not a top-notch defensive coordinator because he never had a top-notch defense. Why, as a leader, am I supposed to believe in you when this looks like we have absolutely no idea what we're doing? Because, Bart, as much as it looks like this to us, I'm willing to bet it looks like that to them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, okay, you keep telling us there's a plan, right? We said, Diana Rossini, it's a plan, right? Why the plan keep changing? Not when you keep changing a plan, that means it's not a plan, or not a plan that you believe in.
I used to have this joke with my wife that we would make plans, and then she would start to think about it and then kind of change it last minute.
Right.
And I would say the plan is never the plan.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like here. Now, granted, that might have just gotten me in some trouble at home. I'm hoping that it did not.
You're assuming that our loved ones listen to our show. They don't care about us.
No, I know she does.
Oh.
At least some of it. But it's not a knock on her. It's more of a knock of, you're running an organization. Why are you last minute making this alteration as opposed to, and I do this too, by the way.
That's impulsive.
I will overthink things to, like, maybe I should stay at that hotel. Now let me cancel this. Now let me go there. This will be easier. No. And then I try to cancel the hotel, and the hotel has a cancellation fee, and I'm screwed.
Yeah. I do that all the time. I go to vacations. I go places. I'm like, it's time to go. And I'll just change the flight and leave the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
I really worry about all this. And for those of you that are now going to come to this and say, well, you know what? This has just turned into an abject mess. Fire Aaron Glenn. No.
Not doing that.
If you fire Aaron Glenn right now, you look even dumber. The Jets have to mitigate the dumb. That's not an easy thing to do. And the best way that he can mitigate the dumb and get past this story is for him to hire Frank Reich right now, go 1 for 2 on what you initially wanted to do. And yeah, I'm going to call the defense, guys. I'm a defensive coordinator. I believe in my abilities. This guy's going to help me. He knows what we want to do. We're going to get there, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't need his help on special teams. Special teams taken care for, accounted for. Frank Wright goes there, then that's accounted for. So that's his best chance. His best chance. But it seems unorganized and impulsive.
All right, we'll discuss more in moments at 800-919-3776. Your calls are coming. We've got Jason McCourty in moments. Looking forward to talking to J-Mac, who, by the way, I want to get your take on this little discussion at the end, too, with him, because he had a fascinating discussion with Stephen A. Smith yesterday on his podcast regarding...
Oh, you got a podcast now?
No, Stephen A. Smith's podcast.
Oh, okay.
And when they were discussing the fact that there's a lack of black head coaches in this cycle, And I want you to get your perspective on this, too. So we've got that all coming next week. Holy crap, this is going to be a show that you do not want to miss. And you should be watching it visually on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Bart and Carlin just getting rolling on ESPN New York.
Murray to the net. Score!
The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzell and Bo Horvat.
Barzell for Horvat. Score!
Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Busiest morning in a long time. We've got a lot of traffic in Brooklyn on the inbound Gowanus BQE, almost back to the Bell Parkway in the Verrazano, all the way to the Battery Tunnel, checking into a possible problem. We have numerous accidents on the LIE westbound side, many accidents westbound on the LIE through Queens out toward Utopia Parkway and into the interchange by the Grand Central. Queensbound Whitestone Bridge with a crash, the northbound Cross Island Parkway by the Grand Central Parkway, an accident. It's a 1 hour delay at the George Washington Bridge coming in from New Jersey. That's the worst. And New Jersey still, that's probably the worst area this morning. New Jersey Turnpike now with a broken down truck by exit 11. Another in the truck lanes up by exit 12 and 13. 78 still eastbound side delays at exit 12 from an early morning accident. And a mess on the Garden State Parkway southbound by exit 137 with an overturned vehicle on the shoulder. Multiple mile delays each way there. NYC ferries, they are suspended. Metro North with a 15-minute delay on the Harlem line. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $189 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM844-681, MSRP $29,075. Zero security deposit ends 2/2/26.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Listen, I know the mentality. You try to play through pain and walk it off. push through one more day. But when it comes to neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, that's a losing game. That's when you call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain. Dr. Shaw is one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he focuses on non-surgical solutions that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no dependence on pain meds. He builds you a custom game plan for you so that you can move better, feel better, and live pain-free. Same day or next day appointments are available. Visit SandwellPain.com. Stop managing pain. Start beating it.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown. Where are we going? To see our planet
This is amazing!
as it's never been seen before. From pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
J-Mac, as he is with us each and every week. Jason McCourty, ESPN NFL analyst.
Got that week off. Ew. Are you going out there? Can they get you some autograph signings and all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? You want to chip with them? You know what I'm saying? Go out there, get some cheese on that taco.
I'll be out there. Not on the Patriots dime. I'm going out there with the NFL hosting a few events.
Ah, that's what I was talking about.
So in other words, you're getting paid.
Yeah, you're getting that cheese on the taco because he's a former Patriot, right? You gotta roll that into some cheese, baby.
Hey, Bart, I'm not biased to anyone. You know, it's a game. There's 2 teams playing. Just because I play for New England doesn't mean I'm rooting for them. I'm taking them in the Super Bowl. You never know.
Oh, you never know. We'll see. What's that betting thing they have now? The new betting stuff. You can bet on anything. It's new betting.
Kalshi? You're talking about like the markets and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can bet on anything.
Yeah, you really can bet on anything. Just listen, an exact number would be nice, but just be honest with me. These Super Bowl weeks, for guys like you,
Super Bowl for Super Bowl winners.
This can be a nice payday, can it not? Just spending a week out there, you go out there, you plug a few products, you go do a couple radio interviews with dopes like me. This could be a good week.
You know, Carlin, you're saying that because you've experienced it, where you have somebody come on, and it's just like, wait.
They don't even know football.
Are you selling? And then you get the person on, you ask them a football question, then you ask them to plug whatever they're selling, and they have no idea what's on your one-sheeter right in front of you.
Exactly.
And you have to guide them through what they're sponsoring on there. So yeah,
exactly, Charles Haley.
There's money to be made. See, I ain't.
No, Chris almost got. I almost watched Chris get his ass whooped by Charles Haley. Man, I thought I was gonna have to come in with like Blank Man and catch his big ass fist.
Bart had known me for 3 weeks, and I decided to really challenge a man standing in front of me who's about 6'8" and 3 bills. And you know what? Let me challenge you on where you are, Charles, with this mental health situation. And that was because I got a little annoyed about something, and it didn't take it too well.
I'm like, why are you picking a fight with the dude that we know damn near choked the hell out of Jimmy Johnson and what's the older name? They almost choked his ass out too.
Jerry Jones.
You think he care about you, Chris? He warned about 5 times. Chris still pushing. I thought I was watching the Chris Everett, Jim Rome.
I don't like Chris enough.
No, but that's the thing.
Up for him in that fight.
Yeah, the best part of that, Jason, is Bart knew me for about 3 weeks at that point.
And he's there talking about mental health. Like, he's telling you he crazy. What the hell you asking? Are you crazy, man?
And Bart's thinking, I'm going to have to get up and try to whip Charles Haley's ass on his behalf.
Just hold him. Come on, Charles. Don't do it, Charles. Think about your kids, Charles.
It was an unfortunate moment for sure. Anyway, J-Mac, let's start here before we get to the game. We're looking at this Jets situation. And so just briefly, we see Wink Martindale comes in, looks like it's going to happen. And then Aaron Glenn, who has been talking to him since December, brings him in the building. And all of a sudden, it reportedly changes that AG says, I'm going to start calling some of the plays on defense. And with a guy like Wink Martindale, we know that's not going to fly. This just looks like, listen to the chuckle. This just
can't make
looks,
it up, that's why.
It looks like they really don't have their house in order in any way. Give me the perception of people from the outside when they see things like this, who are inside the sport but outside the building.
Yeah, I guess because I've had so many experiences throughout the 13 years when I was playing, of good and bad. When you see this, and I'm not in the Jets building, I have no idea what's going on, why the Wink Martindale, whatever the case may be. But when you see things occur like this, you have to look at it and say, remember, everything starts from the top, and it's a trickle-down effect down. So when you look at all of this going on, I always look to ownership. When it seems like the house is out of order, it is up to ownership to place it in order. Aaron Glenn in his role as head coach, you're going out and you're trying to get, whether it's Wink Martindale, whoever it is the offensive coordinator, all of those different things, those are made because you have had conversation with ownership. For one, the amount of money you're going to pay these guys, what their roles are going to be, all of these different facets of bringing a coach on. You have to determine a lot of things that don't even have anything to do with a Wink Martindale, whoever the coach is that you're entertaining, that you have to agree on as an organization before you can pull somebody else in. So all of what appears to be chaos that's going on there with Engstrand, him being let go weeks after the season, it seems as though from Aaron Glenn to the top when it comes to ownership, like they don't seem to be on the same page, and that's what messes it up for everything else. Now, whose fault it is, all of those different things, none of us know the answers to those things from the outside looking in, but we can assume that it is pure chaos going on right now, and that's not what you want in freaking January before the regular season that just finished is even done with. Like, they got a head start on all of these things. You would think that they had a full plan going forward, that they would be in front of a lot of the other teams that are going through different vacancies and different things of that nature.
He called the audible. He went to the line of scrimmage and said, Omaha, Omaha. You know what I mean? We thought it was going to be Wink Martindale. Now he's putting himself in the bullseye because if he's going.
Bart, that's what I don't understand. Like, why call an audible? Like, we're not going hurry up offense. Like, we have plenty of time to prepare and choose what we want to do. You should know these things before you're interviewing someone or talking to someone. Chris just said since December, you should have had a great idea. Their season has been over for months. You have a great idea to prepare for what you want for the next season.
And if you're talking about Duker, you're basically talking about bringing a puppet in. So if that's the case, why not even just keep Chris Harris and just say, I'm the new defensive coordinator? Like, you're going to give this dude a bump up in pay and not give Chris Harris a bump up in pay. We could have digested the fact that Chris Harris, who's the interim defensive coordinator, would have just became the coordinator, and he could have just been your puppet. Because if that's the case, you just brought a guy from outside, and you got guys on your staff that's been here, and you give him the bump in pay above all the other ones that's there, and he the least qualified. You talk about reverse nepotism. Like, bro, if I'm an assistant coach, I'm like, hold up, man. This dude ain't going to call the plays, but he going to get the check? Hell no.
It's a great point. And for head coaches, like, you're also trying to keep all of that in order too. When it comes to choosing who is going to take over play calling, those things come up. I remember talking to an offensive coordinator who got to a new team over these last few years. And he said when he got there to the team, multiple people was still on the staff with him on his side of the ball. Some of those that interviewed for his job. So he said he felt as soon as he walked in, there was already some tension between him and some of the other coaches because they were there already. They thought they should have been elevated because they felt like they were more qualified than him. So now you're coming in and you're trying to combine those minds. But I will say, I guess, on Aaron Glenn's side of it, yes, you're giving a guy a promotion, you're paying him more. But it's from the perspective of even if AG is going to call plays, it may have been the only way that I get another smart mind in the meeting room with us as we're game planning from week to week. So even if I am calling plays and even if Chris Harris is still going to have a huge say in what goes on the defensive side of the ball, we bring in Durkin because now we get another guy who thinks maybe like me from their time in Detroit, who understands what I'm looking for, and now he's another person in the room to diagnose what we need to improve on and what we need to implement going forward from a week-to-week basis to beat whoever our opponent is.
I looked at him. It looked like he ain't ever seen a football before, let alone caught one.
Oh, don't do that, man.
You see what this dude look like? Like, man, this is amazing.
Yes.
Listen, I'm going to say this. The NFL is the only place, the only league where half the people coaching, they never did it. This is the most amazing thing in the world to me. You look at the NBA, everybody on the staff. I look on the bench of the NBA, former player, played at some point in their life. The NFL is the only place where guys really never played at any type of reasonable level that get jobs here. That just let me know that it's like they playing Madden. And they don't trust the players, the people that actually played the damn game and did it for real.
Well, that is a fantastic point. And just to play devil's advocate, the huge conversation over the last 2 days in the sports in the NFL world has been the fact that Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer because so many people believe he's the greatest to ever do what he's done.
Look who they got.
Hey, I can promise you, Belichick won't out there filling no A-gap on the defensive side of the ball. He won't open no holes from a playing standpoint, but from a mind and mental standpoint, he understands the game better than anyone.
Jason McCourty is with us, ESPN NFL analyst. As I'm looking at the offensive coordinator hire for both the Jets and Giants, as a defensive player, what do the best offensive coordinators do? What do they do to give you the most trouble? What are you looking for if you want to hire one?
You want a guy that you always hear the term, can you marry up the run game and the pass game? And for me, defensively, what that means is when I'm lined up and I go out there, if I'm playing Bart's position, I'm at middle linebacker, and every single time the quarterback gets under center or he's in the gun, I have no idea what's to come. Like, every time they line up and they give me a formation and I'm thinking, all right, here this comes, they give me the exact opposite. You want an offensive coordinator that's going to keep you on your toes. There was so much conversation about the NFC Championship game this past weekend, and on both sides of the ball, when you watch McVay call plays, when you watch Clint Kubiak call plays within that game, as a defensive guy, I'm seeing different things that they're doing, and I'm like, damn. And I'm watching it back. I'm like, in that coverage, even if we knew this play was coming, and that really pressed our rules, and that one would have been hard to defend. And putting Puka Nacua in the backfield, Jackson Smith and Jigba, different wrinkles within the offense from week to week that confuses the defense. That was always the challenge to me. And the last thing I would say is, can you create explosive plays? I think that's what the league is all about. If you can get those big chunk plays, those 30, 40-yard plays down the field, it equates to putting points on the board. So you need an offensive mind that's going to give you an advantage play in and play out, and is going to find a way to create explosive plays to put points on the board.
To your point, for the people that, may not know what you're talking about, but watch the game, the touchdown pass to Njigba when he basically ran the corner route, that's knowing and understanding what the principles of what the defense is, what they wanted to do. They wanted to box it. So they go first outside, first inside, first vertical. They sent 2 vertical, understanding that the linebacker would be responsible for a receiver now, and that's a mismatch. And that's a way where you're supposed to say that's all coaching.
And Bart, you know that. You can't cover that wide receiver coming out of that backfield as a linebacker.
Yeah, because you're sitting, because you're not technically in the box.
You're not athletic enough.
Yeah, but also in the box, you're not responsible for anything deep. So you're not carrying. And that's why he's wide-ass open like it was a punt return.
I just want you to say your position group isn't athletic enough to get the job done.
Actually, I played safety in college, so, I had those hips.
Oh, here we go.
We ain't talking about college. We ain't talking about college.
No.
He's talking about playing at Southern Illinois.
No. But also, I first see you're a little younger than me. See, first, I started my career as a dime in the league on the sub package. I was the dime safety.
And they got you out of that quickly.
Carlin, we're supposed to be friends. I wish you would have stayed stuck.
Last one. I want to give you a chance on this because I saw the clip of you on Stephen A's podcast yesterday talking about the lack of black head coaches in the league, and just address that. The guys who were, seemingly not getting hired right now. What is your general take on how these processes all work right now?
Yeah, and I think a lot of times when people see or they hear this conversation, it has to be something that's completely volatile. You have to be on one end of the spectrum where it's just like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing this nonsense. Just let the best guy coach. Or it has to be on the completely other side and the whole system is against us. And what I'm saying is that when you look at the numbers, it just doesn't make sense. Bart brought up earlier, and he talked about looking at the NBA or looking at the NFL and coaches that have played the game and they represent. I think when you look at the NFL, you see so many black players out there, and there are so many black coaches out there that are in our league. But then when you start to look at the very top and you look at head coaches, you look at general managers, and you look at those positions of power and decision makers, you don't see the same type of representation. So I just feel like it's okay in our seats and in our roles to say, look, we understand the NFL has tried multiple ways to try to figure this out and get better representation. We look at the Rooney Rule. We look at different programs that invite coaches and executives down to help fast track them or help teach them the ropes to how to become a head coach or how to become a general manager. The NFL has made strides and they've made attempts to do that. But it's okay to also point out that we're not always moving forward within that because we're looking at the hiring cycle and we aren't seeing black coaches being hired. And I don't say that to say, oh, well, that means Jesse Minter isn't qualified or Todd Monken isn't qualified or John Harbaugh. No, it has nothing to do with those coaches who have earned their right to become head coaches as well. But it's okay to point out the fact that there are a lot of coaches that have done so throughout the course of their career and have earned that right to represent a team as a head football coach, and they haven't gotten that chance. So it's okay to stand up and say, hey, we want better representation and we want more black head coaches in our league. And I don't have the exact solution, and a lot of people don't, but it's okay to say we know it's an issue, and that's why things like the Rooney Rule have been implemented to try to fix these things.
I think that it's a lot of it's a lot more white coaches than there are black coaches in general, and it seems like the flavor of the day or the flavor of the year is how do we mentor and develop our young quarterback. So that means that a lot of offensive coordinators are being elevated, and we don't have enough African American coordinators as well. So I'm sometimes like I feel like all our great offensive players make so much money that they never want to get back in coaching, and I feel like I want to see like in the next 10 years as Russell Wilson retires, as Patrick Mahomes, because now we have majority black quarterbacks and not white quarterbacks. Point. So as they retire, I wonder if they want to be around the game because I feel like you can't deny those guys those opportunities because they were the quarterbacks and played on some of the best, offenses in the league if they want to go that route. Because then if they don't let those guys be head coaches, then it's blatantly obvious why.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially with that quarterback position, because when you talk about offensive coordinators, a lot of those guys are elevated from that quarterback coach role. So having a lot more representation at that quarterback position in this day and age of our game. But the first part you said, those guys, quarterbacks, if you're a starting quarterback in the league nowadays compared to back then, the amount of money you're making, you may decide, you know what, I do actually want to spend some time with my family and I don't want to coach. So You don't know how those things will shake out. But I think that's a very good point by you, Bart.
But if we can get like guys like Teddy Bridgewater, because we know he's done it on a high school level. So the same reason, if you can interview Phillip Rivers, you should be able to interview Teddy Bridgewater. So it's got to be Tyrod Taylor. It's got to be guys like that. You know what I mean? Because we know the guys that make big money. They living their best life. They got $200 million. They ain't trying to coach nobody's team.
They should.
Jay, appreciate it. We'll talk next week, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jason McCourty.
I forgot to ask him about how did he love the Robert Saleh hire. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we'll get into that next week. Listen, we've got a lot of time. We're a little short on time here, and I got to let him go. I can't keep him for 25 minutes.
He ain't gonna talk this next week. You know how much money he's gonna be making out there Super Bowl week? He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. They buy me y'all for free. They giving me a check.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. And get this, if you're a new customer, all you have to do is bet $5, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done. So this is your last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
He's coming. Here he goes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a Pepper Thing. And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a Pepper Thing. Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper Thing.
NBA fans don't just watch the game, they live it. So stream like you're courtside with NBA League Pass, your ticket to all the action. Watch your favorite team shine and catch the league's brightest stars and rising stars at the same time with multi-view on your favorite devices. From the plays you can't believe to the most live games and the drama that comes with it. If it happens on the court, it's happening on NBA League Pass.
Only select out-of-market games available. Blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
We're back on the air, John. John, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Over on the ESPN New York YouTube page where the comments are coming in, you should be over there. You should be subscribed to the ESPN New York YouTube page. You should be commenting. You should be liking. I just hit the like button. I smashed it. And I am in the chat right now. You guys can fire away on the chat as well. Mr. Vargas checking in. Aaron Glenn is lost in the sauce right now. Scott Roth, I think it's organizing chaos at the moment. What else we got? Maybe he brought in Duker to teach his system. So now we know Bart. No, never mind with that one. This conversation with Bart and J-Mac sounds like a conversation that's great, but I don't understand anything. I think they were talking about the defense like earlier and about offensive coordinators. I don't know.
Probably talking about the route combination I was saying when they put the receiver in the backfield.
Okay.
Understanding what the box is. So, like, it's when you have 3 over 3. So,
yeah.
you got 3 to go against their 3, but we have principles and concepts whenever you have 3 in a close spot. You play an area, not a person. For
Moishe here, here's what you do. Just like me, blackout for a moment while Bart explains it, and then you understand it.
So you take when you see these teams in these snug parts with 3 people like they're in a triangle and 1 person on the point, you can't get to all of them because they're going to crisscross. So what you do is you area it out. But what they did is they made the same thing, but they just put the running back, the receiver in the backfield as the running back. So now you have a receiver running a receiver route, but he's running a route from the backfield. So usually what we do is we box it. So you take first vertical, first inside, first outside. So the linebacker's inside naturally and there's a lineman, so he takes the first inside. So the linebacker took the first inside, which ended up being a running back because remember, if the running back is the receiver, he's coming out late because he's 5 yards deep. So now you isolate the linebacker on the receiver, and then he's not used to carrying anything, but when everybody's already ran off, he's the only one that can carry him. So the linebacker hit him, but he stopped, and he just kept running the route. That's why he was wide-ass open, because they used their concepts and understandings of how they play certain formations against them, knowing that they would expose the linebacker, because with that, you got to change your coverage, but you always play certain coverages a certain way, but you always assume that the running back is the one in the personnel, so a linebacker can run with a running back, but a linebacker not going to run with a receiver. So that's using their knowledge against them.
And then lastly, Scott Roth wants to know, is Carlin drinking a beer? I am not, although this is be a brilliant
it is foamy. Why is it foamy?
It's not. That's just ice. That's just ice on top. It's
no, I see bubbles.
All right, well, it's not a bubbly drink. It's a green iced tea. This is what I would call from Starbucks the one thing that makes it appear as if I'm trying to do something healthy. That's all. At least it's...
I got an extra matcha.
Is matcha healthy for you? I don't know.
What? It's green tea.
I have no idea what matcha is.
It's like...
Matcha is something that
it's not my favorite.
Female influencers drink.
No, it's like...
Not me.
It's like spirola. It's like all that type of stuff. It's a healthy drink.
Joe Leo, ever drink a matcha?
It's a green plant.
I have.
And your thoughts?
It's okay.
What is it?
But it's healthy, right? It's matcha. It's from the matcha plant.
Just screaming it's matcha does not mean it's healthy.
Yes, it is. It's like having green tea.
It's fried cheese. Of course it's healthy.
It's like green tea powder, basically.
Okay.
You know I would say it's a healthier caffeine alternative to
healthier
coffee.
Caffeine vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, like spirola or whatever that is too. It's like that's what they feed horses when they want horses to bulk up.
Horse steroids? You're telling me the horse steroids is into matcha right now.
And
that's what you're telling me.
And that's what gorillas eat too, to make themselves.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So I should go get a matcha that will cost me $12, and it's because it's got gorilla and horse steroids. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
You'll see.
You know what? My calves don't need no steroids.
Yeah,
my calves are all natural.
But you'll be able to see your navel in 2 months.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See optimum.com for details.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
You remember what it feels like to move without thinking about pain? To get up, sit up, walk, work, or live without that constant ache? If neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica took that away from you, it's time to get it back. I'm Bart Scott. Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain is the guy you need. Ivy League trained, double board certified, no surgery, no scars, no long recovery, just precise, image-guided, non-surgical treatments designed to get you feeling strong again. With offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, and most major insurances are accepted, there is no reason to wait. Go to SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $179 for 33 months. Or buy with 0.9% APR financing for 72 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN379853, MSRP $33,425. Zero security deposit, APR $14.27 per month for $1,000 finance, ends 2/2/26.
All the way over Barzell, score! New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Did you say someone got shot?
Brian Pata, senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Brian.
An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Being placed under arrest. We had a killer amongst us.
Murder at the U, coming soon.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a time out to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering buy one, get one 50% off and every day 0% financing. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends January 31st, 2026.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Bart just broke out a bagel that looks like it's stuffed with cream cheese. Like, what is that? That looks amazing.
It's matcha.
It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Connor Hughes covers the NFL from SNY. He was the one who kind of laid out yesterday exactly how this whole Wink Martindale, Aaron Glenn situation played out, and he's going to give us a little more insight here on where the Jets stand with getting a new offensive coordinator now, as they already have Brian Duker in place as the defensive coordinator. Connor, it's Chris and Bart. We appreciate it. How are you, bud?
No problem, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Let's just start here. Can you lay out, kind of as you did in your tweet yesterday, as to what happened when the Jets seemingly had Wink Martindale's deal as a foregone conclusion, and then how it seemed to fall apart?
Yeah, well, look, the conversations between the Jets, specifically Aaron Glenn and Martindale, date back to December. You know, it was shortly after they let go of Steve Wilkes. There were informal conversations, you know, and just talking about a potential partnership, and the interest was immediate, and it just grew and it grew and it grew to the point where, gosh, I want to say shortly after the season ended, I remember getting calls from people who were going to be on Wink Martindale's staff, basically saying like, hey, this is the done deal. Like, they've got to go through the interview process, satisfy the Rooney Rule and stuff, but we're going to get this job. Like, it's going to be Wink Martindale. And when he was flying in Saturday before this snowstorm to have that in-person interview, it was believed that was just a formality. It was I-dotting, T-crossing. Here's where the cafeteria is. Here's where your office is. These are some good restaurants in the area. Now let's get to work. And from talking to sources close to Martindale, you know, this was one of those things where in all previous conversations with Aaron Glenn, at no point was it given any indication other than this was going to be Wink's show, and Wink was going to be defensive coordinator. It was going to be his scheme. He was going to be calling the plays and all that stuff. It was going to be a normal defensive coordinator job. When Wink showed up that Saturday for the in-person interview, that was the first time that he was informed that Aaron Glenn planned on calling plays, and Aaron Glenn had a desire to call plays. But Wink is not a first-time coordinator. He's not somebody who's, you know, a flushed aside or anything like that. I mean, this is a guy who has done it at a pretty high level for a very long time. He knows how to call plays, and it was just never going to work to have him not be the primary defensive play caller. So that's when things really started falling apart between Martindale and the Jets, and it became clear that their plan was to go with a lesser-known coordinator with Glenn calling the plays as opposed to Martindale and having Martindale be the one that's the one calling the shots.
Okay, so what changed between the initial talks and then that made Aaron Glenn say, you know what, I'm going to be calling some of the defense? Because knowing what Wink's history is, there's no way he went into that thinking that he was going to be calling the plays for Wink Martindale.
Yeah, in fact, I actually heard that during the conversation between Martindale and Glenn, he asked him, what the bleep changed. You know what I mean? Like I heard that was something that was basically said. Look, honestly, guys, I said it the other day too, that I've heard conflicting things on it. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get a concrete confirmation on what happened to what changed. There's things that are floating out there about, was it higher ups that were putting it down on Aaron Glenn? Was it Aaron Glenn just deciding that I want to go down, and if I'm going down with my ship, I'm going to go down with my ship? I mean, you hear a couple things that say one and a couple things that say the other, and I don't want to be the one that puts out there one and have it be the wrong one until I can get it finalized as this is what's the reason. But look, I can tell you that when
Put it this way, you don't think that it was Aaron Glenn just changing his mind?
I've heard one way and the other way. I've heard both.
You've heard it both ways. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard it both versions. Here's what I can tell you is that when Robert Saleh was the Jets head coach his first year and things went really, really south, like for Robert early on, like that first year, there was a push from those above to have Robert call the defense in year two, and they wanted Robert Saleh to call the defense in year two. Robert fended it off, said, no, I trust Brick. Just let me get my guys in here. Let's get some players, and you'll see it turn around. And it did turn around. Like Jeff Ulbrich, when he was named interim head coach, that was for a reason. Like, he deserved that label. It didn't work, but he deserved that label. There was a push from above back then. I don't know if history repeated itself or anything like that, but it's certainly an organization that hasn't been opposed to having their head coach call plays for them.
So if Aaron Glenn is going to call the plays, then what exactly is Duker? How can you even give him the title of coordinator when he's not calling the plays? And how is that going to rub Chris Harris? Because he should have just been the coordinator, and Glenn could have did the same thing.
Yeah, I think with Chris Harris, you can just look at the defense the final 5 weeks of the season, basically, since he took over and be like, dude, I don't think we can go back to this. You know what I mean? Now, I know he was calling the plays, but the concept of the head coach calling the plays and still having a coordinator in place isn't a crazy concept. I mean, you can look at it's mostly done with offensive side of things, where look, Sean McVay calls the plays, Mike LaFleur is the offensive coordinator. It's going to be Robert Saleh hiring a defensive coordinator, but he's going to be the one that calls the plays. I mean, I think it's becoming more commonplace, especially with these hot shot coordinators that get their opportunities to be a head coach. I mean, they want to keep calling plays. At the end of the day, that's what got them the recognition. That's why they're in that place. There's people like John Harbaugh who are the true CEOs, and then you have the other people around the league that's their specialty, and they want to keep doing it. And it does make some sense. When you bring in one of these guys as a defensive coordinator because that's what his prowess was, why hamstring him and why neuter him and not have him call plays? Now, the flip side of that is that Aaron Glenn's tenure with the Detroit Lions wasn't exactly littered with top 3 to top 5 defenses. In fact, when he was hired by the Jets, a lot of the things that the Jets loved about him were separate from what he did as a defensive coordinator. It was his ability to hire a staff. It was the CEO type. It was the motivator. It was the ability to hold people accountable. It was the culture changer. That's what they loved about him and why they hired him, not necessarily what he did as a coordinator, because you look at it, I mean, the years there, and eventually they did get some talent towards the end, but even when they had talent those final 2 years, they were in the 20s. That's where they ranked, and I think they peaked as a points per game his final year at 7, which was a testament because of the injuries they had, but this was never a guy who consistently had a top 10 defense in terms of points per game and yards per game. It just didn't go there. So I am a little surprised that the Jets are turning things over, but at the end of the day, Aaron Glenn's making a lot of money, and I think it's close to $12 million a year Aaron Glenn's making to be the head coach of this team. And if you're Woody Johnson and you're cutting the checks, you're paying your defensive-minded head coach $12 million, and now he needs to bring in a defensive coordinator to completely rewrite his defense, and that defensive coordinator is going to make another $4 or $5 million a year. Like, that's a lot of investments. When I could look, I wouldn't fault him, and I could totally see him turning around and being like, dude, I'm paying a lot of money for you, and you're a defensive-minded guy. Why don't you try to figure this out? Like, why don't you fix this? Like you figure out your defense, and we'll see if Glenn can do that.
Well, where it doesn't make sense is the fact that they fired all the defensive staff, so you're going to be hiring new coaches, and you're going to have to pay those new coaches while you're still paying the old coaches the money out anyway. So if you're just going to be the defensive coordinator, then why fire anybody? You should have just made it work with them because you thought they were smart enough and thought they were good enough to hire them in the first place. So why not keep them? Because now you're hiring new people, so you're wasting Woody's money anyway. And the fact now is that the Ravens have openings, that the Titans have openings, that the Bills have openings. So now how are you going to attract the best people? You just fired people the people that were willing to come and roll with you. How many people are going to try and come out, especially after this Wink Martindale story gets out?
Yeah, you make a lot of really good points, Bart. That's all I got for you, dude. Like, look, they fired half of their staff and both of their coordinator, well, not their defensive coordinator, he's been gone, but they fired their offensive coordinator a month into the offseason. This is a month going. I mean, the guy that they hired as defensive coordinator was somebody that they interviewed after the original 8 candidates. And by the way, Duker never even had an in-person interview. He never had an in-person interview with the Jets. He did a phoner on Tuesday and was hired on Wednesday.
That's crazy.
So you're right. Like, I'll be honest, there is no set plan. Like, I know Aaron Glenn keeps saying we have a plan, and it seems like the plan that they had, look, this is just connecting dots, and I don't know how you can refute this in any way, shape, or form. They were very clearly heading in one direction with this thing when the offseason began. They were going in one direction. It then changed. Because if they were all on the same page and if they were all doing the same thing, all of these assistant coaches that they let go, they are let go when the offseason begins. The coordinator in Tanner Engstrand, he is not let go 23 days into the offseason. He is let go when the season ends because then you can begin your process early. That was the whole benefit when the Jets let go of Robert Saleh when they did and it became clear that Jeff Ulbrich wasn't going to be this team's head coach, is you got a jump start on replacing your staff and finding your new head coach. Same thing with the Giants when they let go of Brian Dable when they did. You get a jump start in the hiring process. Had the Jets at least fired these guys when most people fired these guys early in the season, they could have had their candidates interviewed. They could have had the positional coaches interviewed. We wouldn't be at the Senior Bowl with the Jets missing half of their staff. Like, that's just a fact. So everything you're saying, Bart, is true, and that's one of the reasons why right now the Jets are being dragged through the mud, and it's hard to build any form of an argument in positive light for them. Other than having covered Aaron Glenn for a year now, it's very clear that he doesn't care what other people say, and he doesn't care what's written about him. He's going to do things his way. But you're right. Like everything you're saying, dude, makes sense. And everything you're saying, I don't have a counter argument to you because it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't. It's not a bulletproof plan. It feels like they're being very reactionary. It feels like they're flying by the seat of their pants. And a lot of the vacancies that were open, whether it was coordinating candidates, which on the offensive side, not so much defensive side, because you were never going to get anyone if Aaron Glenn was the one calling plays. Like, that's where it's changed. And the only thing I can add to this as well, and this is from talking to sources that were fired, talking to sources that are still there within the building. When the season ended, the Jets told all of their positional coaches and their staff that if they wanted to explore other opportunities, they could. Basically, what that means is they were allowed to take lateral positions. So if the defensive line coach wanted to go take another defensive line coaching job, it didn't seem like the Jets were going to block that for everybody. With that said, after basically a month went by of this offseason where no changes were made and everyone was moving forward through the offseason business as usual, everyone felt they were safe. Having talked to several people who were let go by the Jets, the quote that I got from all of them was that they were, quote, blindsided, unquote. They did not see these changes happening when they changed. So it does appear as if this was a little bit of a reactionary move that came a little bit out of the blue, considering the path that they were originally trending down.
Connor Hughes with us, covers the Jets and Giants for SNY. Connor, what about Tanner Engstrand? What happened here yesterday in the last couple of days?
So this was one where the Jets made the decision. And this is from talking to people who some of the veteran coaches that the Jets have pursued, because several veteran guys, like I know John Gruden got out there from Zach Rosenblatt, but there were others as well. The Jets called and they were like, yeah, we're not interested in this at all. Aaron Glenn was looking for, the quote I got was a, quote, head coach of the offense is what he wanted. This person was going to have personnel control. This person was going to do the play calling. He was going to have the staffing control. All that stuff was going to be for the head coach of the offense. The plan was to still keep Tanner Engstrand on staff as the quote-unquote offensive coordinator. This goes back into Bart, like basically talking about Duker. I mean, it's more this with Tanner, is that it reminded me, having talked to people in this situation, it reminded me a lot of when Brian Dable stripped play calling from Mike Kafka for a year, and Kafka was basically shoved in a broom closet. Like, yeah, you kept your title. Yeah, you're still getting the paycheck, but like your say has been completely and totally neutered. that sounded like what their plan was with Tanner Engstrand. They were going to bring someone in, the person that they wanted, and it sounds like it's going to get done is Frank Wright. Frank Wright was going to be the pseudo-offensive coordinator and everything but title. They were still going to pay him like $4 or $5 million a year. It was going to be a substantial investment, but then you were still going to have Tanner Engstrand on staff. I think what ended up happening was as this got out there and it was just very clear that Tanner was going to be so diminished. And look, dude, the offense scores 3 points through 3 weeks, and suddenly like Tanner's going to be the one talking to us every Thursday. We're not going to be talking to Frank Wright if he's not the offensive coordinator. We're going to be talking to Tanner for why Frank's plays don't work. Like, it was going to be a disaster. That eventually I think both sides just realized, what the hell are we doing here? Let's just move on. And both, one went left and one went right.
So, I mean, we've already lost out on Wink Martindale, which I think would have added credibility to the defense.
Did you play for him, Bart? I can't remember. Did you get a year with Wink?
No, I ain't played with Wink. But me and Wink was friends when he was here with the Giants. So it's funny that you're saying they were going to tell him what a restaurant is. Wink was here for damn near 2 years with Dayball, so he knows where the hell to go to eat. But But so you're the first one to bring up the Frank Wright, and it seems like Norman, a.k.a. Boomer, like verified it being, Frank's bestie, that he was going to be here because he didn't disqualify anything that you did. Actually, he kind of verified it, without verifying it. So if Frank is coming here, is that even more the reason we're kind of seeing the Robert Saleh, Brian Daboll type of philosophy now? Because with that being said, I don't know how you get a new offensive coordinator that you don't know. It's not like they're going to get a known offensive coordinator unless you get a Frank Wright. And I don't know how you can free up time for Aaron Glenn not being the head coach facilitator if he has to worry if the other side of the ball. If Frank Wright comes in, then he can put all his attention to the defensive side. So when will we hear something about the offensive coordinator? I know they brought in Greg Roman and some other guys that may have a brand name that can offer some of the same things that Frank does, but how close are we to getting an answer to that?
I could see it pretty soon. It actually wouldn't surprise me if something gets done today because from I think it was Friday, I want to say, or maybe Monday. My days are all mixed right now with how crazy this offseason's been. I had heard the Jets, but this was before Tanner got let go. So before Tanner got fired, I had heard that the Jets and Frank were already talking contract. Like, they were already getting through the nitty-gritty of it. Once they let Tanner go and now they are filling a offensive coordinator vacancy, you need to go through the Rooney Rule requirements, which means interviewing 2 minority candidates. Among those interviews that the Jets had the other day, like, they've now satisfied the Rooney Rule. So now they can move forward and make a hire. The reason why Frank wasn't hired yet or anything like that is they now, once Tanner was gone, they had to go through with the Rooney Rule. They've done that, so now they can make a hire pretty quick. And it honestly wouldn't surprise me if it's today or tomorrow.
Last thing for me, as far as on the other side of town.
Yeah.
You got Todd Monken getting hired, so now it's a huge void because we know that unlike Aaron Glenn, Harbaugh doesn't have a side of the ball that he coaches. He's a true CEO, a.k.a. manager. So what are we looking at on the Giants side?
Yeah, so the name that I sent a handful of texts out yesterday because the Giants were pretty convinced they were getting Todd Monken. I mean, they were, I would say, a little surprised that Monken got that head coaching job. I think that's fair to say. Like, they really thought that they were getting him. I mean, in fact, if he wasn't the head coach, the contract was already done. Like, they were very confident they were getting Monken. The one thing you can say about Harbaugh is he's done a pretty good job throughout his career of filling staff positions with really quality candidates. And they don't really have a problem either moving on from guys when it's clear that that's not working. So I would trust them. The one name that I heard from sending text messages out and getting some word back is Charlie Weiss Jr. That's one that is gaining a lot of steam, specifically with actually the Darts, because he was Jackson Dart's quarterback coach and offensive coordinator, even though he didn't call plays his 3 years at Ole Miss. So there's a lot of relationship there, like pre-existing relationship there with the quarterback. I know Jackson would absolutely love to have Charlie on the Giants staff as his offensive coordinator. When Lane Kiffin took the LSU job, Charlie was actually one that called plays during Ole Miss's playoff runs, or playoff run, I should say. So he would be one I would keep an eye on. I know Davis Webb's coming in for an interview, and you'll see some other names popping up as well. But the one that's gaining a lot of steam at the moment is Charlie Weiss. I don't know if I go as far as to say he's the favorite, but he's certainly the name that I've heard more than others.
Excellent stuff, Connor. We appreciate a few minutes.
100%, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Yep, Connor Hughes, SNY, does a nice job covering the Jets and Giants. Follow him on X at Connor_J_Hughes. There's a lot there.
That means somebody stole his name and he had to add some underscores in it.
Yeah. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. But I want to let the fans get in because they've been patient at 800-919-3776. We'll start with D and Elizabeth. What's up, David?
What's going on, fellas? They got me on the road today, but let's get straight down to business. So, look, give me a little runway on this. So, I got a couple of Giants fans in my job, so we're sitting here talking football like we always do, and we were pointing out all the positives they have. They have a competent coach. They have a promising quarterback, hopefully. They've got pieces as running back. They have a stud wide receiver. They've got pieces on defense. And they're not that toxic. Now, we're going to go to the opposite side of Gotham City, right? Look at all the things that are check engines for us. Coach doesn't know what he's doing. Now, think about it, what you gentlemen just said. You hired somebody on the fly. Like, you know what that's like? That's like hiring somebody you went to school with. Oh, yo, that's my man right there. Yo, I got a job for you. Bro. You're good. And, you know, they don't know what they're doing. I don't know, man. Like, this is really bad. It was so bad yesterday when I was talking to you guys. I was this close to using profound language on the radio.
Yeah, I caught that.
Exactly. It's a dog show, and it's bad. And you know I don't want to use the word dog. It's bad, bro. It's embarrassing. You can even hear it in Bart's voice. He's embarrassed. He doesn't know what he's doing. Where's Jaime to tell Woody, like, yo, dog, we're getting embarrassed out here, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's misrepresenting the organization. It's to the point that people will be like, oh, yo, I want to stay away from the Jets. Let me just clear this up as you guys let me go. It's not the Jets. It's Glenn. There's only 29 of these or 20-something of these. You're not passing it up. And we're prime time. We're Broadway. People want to be here. Not for nothing. And it's just embarrassing. And real quick before you gentlemen let me go again, Leon Rose, I'm sorry, man. You got to make that deal happen. I'm sorry. You got to do it.
Yeah,
now
we're going to get to that here soon.
Yeah, my bad. I know y'all got to let me go, so that's why I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
You got to do it now because if you don't do it and another team jumps over you and gets them, yeah, this is going to be, a franchise malpractice. We'll talk again tomorrow, fellas.
Yeah, this just goes bad for Big Cat too, because like if he stays, he's going to be the villain. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's a lose-lose for him.
Yeah, he ends up somewhere else. People are going to look at him and then blame him for everything.
Yeah,
absolutely true. We'll get more into that here in a bit. I want to get a couple more of these Jet calls in who have been waiting. Subi in Midtown, what's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, would you guys be in favor of having Aaron Glenn and the Jets on Hard Knocks this year, showing them 24 hours a day and seeing what this communication is with Aaron Glenn and his quarterback and his staff? Because
because they'll edit the head out of it, Subi. We'll never see. They'll never let us in anyway.
I mean, let's put it this way.
Why are you dumping so fast?
The Jets on Hard Knocks.
Who got the quick finger?
I did. Okay. I did. Because I'm trying to get through a few of them here.
I got you.
Basically, the Jets version of Hard Knocks would have more redactions than the Epstein files.
Exactly. There's black sheets. Whole sheet black.
Here's Hard Knocks. Black screen. And then they would cut to a video of Tannenbaum trying to field a punt.
Greatest hits.
Al is up next on ESPN New York. Al, what do you got?
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Doing good. Appreciate the talk about the black coaches, by the way, between you guys and McCourty. I think it's really nice that you guys speak on these topics whenever they come about. You don't tiptoe around it.
Yeah,
that's that. One. Two, I think it's odd that people will laugh at the Jets about us not taking time developing Sam Darnold, but then we'll also have a quick trigger when it comes to firing Glenn. It's like you got to give these guys time to develop. Like, we haven't had a winning season in 10 years, and that's not Aaron Glenn's fault. He walked into a team that had a losing record, and we lost again while losing good players. What do you guys think about, my point? I hope it's making sense. But
it is.
This is the issue, though, with me, Al, and where I go with it. He didn't inherit a bigger mess as we thought. He still had opportunities to win. We didn't expect the Jets to be great, but we didn't expect them to be a laughing stock, right? And it's because he doubled down. He's the one that decided to pay the people he decided to pay, and them trading those players was a pivot because he overstated the value of what he believed that Justin Fields could be. He thought that Justin Fields can come in and play. He didn't believe what he saw in Pittsburgh. He didn't think it was his fault. He didn't believe what he saw in Chicago. He was a fan because he went against him a couple times and he had a couple good games as a Bear. So he thought, man, let me bring him in and he'll be fine, right? They had opportunities to go sign Sam Darnold. They had opportunities to sign Daniel Jones. They had all these opportunities. He decided to wait to put his football career on the line for Justin Fields. And we all was trying to figure out what did he see that we didn't see, because this was a guy that had two different coaches in Chicago and also went to one of the most stable organizations and got replaced. So we didn't want to believe what Mike Tomlin was telling us, that he thought that they had a better chance to win with Russell Wilson than they had with him, and that should have been the biggest indictment.
So would you say that, would you agree with the fact that maybe he should get a second swing, since this is just
of course this is
a quarterback?
Yeah,
right?
this is his second and final swing. He may not make it to the third year to use those 3 first-round draft picks to try and get a college quarterback. He's going to have to get a retread this year, or maybe pick somebody that maybe not ready to play this year, and he may not even get an opportunity to see it through. Because when you're making all these changes, you're costing the owner all this money. I can't see Woody going through 3 years of this. Especially, some people say Mike Tomlin's done. But if Mike Tomlin's not done, I would see somebody like Woody, the same way that Harbaugh came in here and we automatically gave instant credibility to the Giants. Well, Mike Tomlin can offer the same credibility instantaneously, and at least it would seem like an adult is in the room, and it would seem like it's not chaos. This seems chaotic. To fire your staff and then to hire somebody only to do it yourself, to have to replace the people that you fired, it's insanity. Makes no sense.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
Thursday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Have the Knicks put their worst days behind them.
Anunoby, the long rebound, outlet for Bridges, lays it up and in. Bridges' big night continues. Give him 30.
It's my teammates, man. Just feeding off the energy from everybody on the court, everybody on the bench.
Will they still look to make a big move at the trade deadline? And where will Artemi Panarin wind up? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over. And football is officially done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
1-877-CARS for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
At Uline,
They know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
See, I'm not firmly convinced Eli Manning's going to get to the Hall of Fame. My favorite argument against him, which is amazing, is outside of the durability, the magical playoff run, the second magical playoff run. It's just a 500 quarterback. Well, do you think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer if he retired after 10 seasons? He was way above 500. So the fact that he was durable and continued to play on a bad football team, now you're going to punish him for that?
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, we've seen it all, and we're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at hrblock.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ready to make an entrance. So back on yo, it's cool. It's a cool thing going on in rapping right now. It's the first time where like the majority of people we grew up with are old. So rap is only 50 years old. So now we got people rapping about stuff like gout and and being grandparents. You know what I'm saying?
Arthritic hips.
Yeah, people talk about being all that type of
Can
stuff.
I ask a philosophical question real quick? And I,
sure.
As I ask it, I would like you to just please keep in mind that this is me asking a legitimate question, and I'm trusting you to not take it to a place that's going to get me fired. Okay?
I'll try.
And again, it is trusting the kid with the keys to the car. When you see somebody like me, on my playlist in the car, I have Snoop. I have Dre. I've got a complete mixture of things.
You got Martha Stewart Snoop, or you got like Tupac Snoop?
Old Snoop.
Murder Was the Case Snoop.
Stuff like that. Now, I do not sing along with all the lyrics by any stretch of the imagination.
Is this a ninja pass?
No. Okay. That's not what this is. I just wonder, like, what you think when you see somebody who looks like me, who might be listening to that in his car. Like, is that?
I think.
Do I just look like a wannabe trying to do that?
Nope.
A bald 50-something white man listening to Snoop.
How do I look when I be saying "Sweet Home Alabama"?
Well, there aren't racial epithets in Sweet Home Alabama, although I'm sure in certain situations you could. But
I just know I like it.
And again, not singing along. I want to be very clear on that.
I only want to be with you. Like I've seen some country. Like I look at it with an open mind.
It's different. Like to me, that's if I'm looking at you doing that, that's you being eclectic in your musical taste. Yeah, I want to know if I'm being judged for listening to that.
No, that just means that you had exposure. I'm like, man, he probably got a couple black friends.
Well, you.
But you know what I'm saying? But I don't look at rap as a black thing, a white thing, a Spanish thing, Asian thing, because hip hop I look at it as hip hop. It's a lifestyle, it's a culture, it's a swag, it's a way. It's not so much about the songs that you listen to, in my opinion. So for me, I look at it as the culture, right? And the culture influences dress, cars. Like if you had some Daytons on your car or something like that, my classmate White Boy Doug had the Daytons on and worked all summer for it. Somebody carjacked him for it. That was messed up.
Wasn't that a movie, White Boy Doug?
White Boy Rick.
Oh, White Boy Rick.
And we knew White Boy Rick.
I saw that.
That's what he was from Detroit.
He's Detroit, yeah.
White Boy Rick.
I saw that. Didn't he end up to be an informant or something or not?
Well, he was forced into the life, because his father and stuff like that, they made him an informant, but he was one of the biggest drug dealers on the side.
Right.
But that just lets you know how.
Who played White Boy Rick?
I don't know. I
saw
feel like
movie.
Marky Mark should have played him, but I didn't think he did it.
Okay, go ahead.
So I mean, I look at it from that. I look at it from that standpoint, in my opinion. You know what I mean? For me, listen to rap, I had an Albanian friend, and he loved Master P. He the one put me on Master
Was
P.
it Matthew McConaughey who played White Boy Rick or his kid?
Yeah.
Richie Merritt, I think his kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. All right. I just wanted to know I like to know when I'm being judged.
Nah, man. Go ahead and wrap that stuff up, man.
Because
people don't like the other guy who acts like he just so hip hop. Michael, what's his name? The little goofball dude.
Michael Bublé?
No. He's the you know what I'm talking about, Michael Rappaport or something.
Oh, Michael Rappaport. Well, people don't like him for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah. He's an ass clown.
All right, let's hit it. Audio files on that note. Ass clown.
The audio file.
I'll tell you what. There are some underrated insults out there. And some of them I don't know that I could say or not. Ass clown would be absolutely an underrated insult. Tom, care to share any others?
No comment right now.
Okay.
I'm going to, one, have to think of them, and two, the comments I probably would say, I'd probably have to dump myself. So
Yeah.
I'd rather not get it.
I won't say the full phrase, but numb blank is absolutely an underrated
That's a favorite
insult.
of mine when I'm driving.
That's old school too. But Tom, I'm sure you got some from the rock and roll world that's unique to that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there are certainly some of those. Again, I can't say them on the air though.
You can say part of them. Don't get fired.
No.
Don't get suckered in here, Tom.
No. I'd rather talk some audio files than get suckered into something where I have to get into each other discussion.
Okay. Proceed, because we got a lot of callers, so we want to get back to them. So
we do.
I don't want to stop us, slow us down.
And we've also got Joe Fortenbaugh coming up.
Yes, we do.
All right, so I'm going to get right into it. Big story outside of football today is Giannis. He wants a new home, and Shams Charania told ESPN about all that.
Sources tell me he is ready. He is prepared to move forward with his career elsewhere, either at the deadline or in the offseason. And what's changed here is the Bucks' approach and process. They're getting tons of aggressive offers right now in Milwaukee. They are listening to those offers. Those offers have consisted of all-star caliber players, multiple draft picks.
So you mentioned those offers, but who are the main contenders for Giannis?
I would look at Minnesota, Golden State in the West, New York, and Miami. Those are four of the strong suitors for Giannis.
Minnesota, Golden State.
Minnesota? Ain't nobody taking Rudy Gobert in that weak-ass contract.
Can you imagine if you go into Giannis and say, hey, listen, we got a sweetheart deal with the Timberwolves. We're going to send you further north.
Yeah. What the hell I buy? A musher? What's those people that mush with the Alaskan people?
Yeah,
the Alaskan Huskies?
Yeah, they're dog race.
Mushermen?
They're not. I don't think they're mushermen. I don't believe that's the name. The Iditarod. That's the name of the race. The Iditarod.
Iditarod.
Yeah.
Sled dogs, mushers.
It was a good movie about that. Well, not the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. That was dumb. But it was a real one. What was it, like Kevin Costner or something back in the day?
You know, you could pretty much insert that sentence into most Cuba Gooding Jr. vehicles.
Yeah.
With the exception of Jerry Maguire.
No, I loved him in Men of Honor. With Robert De Niro? Oh, man. A Navy diver isn't a man.
He just said,
if it sinks, he picks it up. If it's broken, hey, brother. Hell, I never know why anybody want to be a Navy diver. At ease. When he had no leg, the black man cut his leg off, and the white man didn't want to get. Oh, man. Oh.
I also didn't see Norbit, which apparently Tom told me he was in. Was he in Norbit?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. Norbit was good.
Tom, you better hope he was.
I know he was in Norbit.
Right. No,
Okay.
don't be just putting random black people there. That wasn't that.
Exactly, Tom.
That was his brother.
You better hope he was.
I know he was. I saw that movie quite a bit in high school.
Land ho. Who you calling the hoe?
You mentioned Tom sitting there high watching Norbit.
Man, Norbit is underrated, man. Once again, Eddie Murphy playing like 5 different roles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heat in that movie, but it's got sauce.
How you doing? He's like, you got on a bikini? He lifted up his stomach. You couldn't see the bikini because it was
That's
I didn't see it, so I don't know it.
Rasputin, like, so he playing a fat woman, too. And so, like, they asked, did she have on a bikini, but her belly was so big hanging over that they couldn't see that she had bottoms on.
Tom, next.
How you doing?
All right.
Tom, you're the one who brought up Norbit. Okay,
yeah,
that's
I know.
On you.
That's my fault here.
Next.
All right, so this one's interesting from Brian Cashman. He spoke yesterday. I'm assuming it's a presser about the whole Cody Bellinger re-signing thing they did virtually over Zoom. However, there is one standout comment from that has taken over social media about Brian Cashman, and that's the notion that people disagree that he brought back the same roster from last year and that it can't contend for a championship contender. Well, Cashman had some thoughts.
It's not the same roster. I would differ there. You know, we have some players at some point returning from the IL that are important players. Garrett Cole being obviously one of them. But we've had some additions, from the second half that got their feet wet with the Yankees, some with success, some with failures or success. But once they'll now be in a position to join us with their feet on the ground and getting their sea legs under them, with the manager too, learning how to utilize these guys and where they slot and everything else.
Okay, so it's guys getting their sea legs and the manager learning how to use them.
Listen, we all playing for second place, man. Ain't nobody beating the damn Dodgers. Nobody why spend all this
Here's
extra
what I
money
want to
when
know.
you ain't
Are
gonna
they
do
beating
lose
the
anyway?
Blue Jays? That's what I want to know.
No.
That's what I want to know.
The Blue Jays are the only team that can beat the Dodgers.
We're not running it back with the same team. We have the same team, but we're not running it back.
But they're different. They're more mature.
And we're going to get Garrett Cole back because that's like making a trade. Oh,
I got one more for you on
Please.
the Yankees. This was from Joel Sherman on I want to get it right, the Pinstripe Post. I'm assuming this is a podcast.
Yeah, that's his New York Post podcast.
Yeah, I heard this with Michael yesterday, and I was, Joel Sherman went on a little rant here, and I'm surprised he went on it.
Most of the whiners are also people who were saying, well, they signed Grisham. That means that Hal's going to get cheap and not bring Bellinger back. Will any of those people shut the up now? They will not shut the up because they like that lane that's either stupid or they enjoy being stupid.
Here's the thing about Joel, okay? Joel's a great writer and a phenomenal baseball reporter. Joel's got a heavy degree of arrogance to him and of certain things are beneath him. And there are baseball fans, sports radio such that are beneath Joel. That's just what it is, okay? And I respect Joel's work in every way, but there is a condescension in the way that Joel speaks, and I've seen it for 25 years. So I get that. I'm not surprised at all that that's how he would say it. Yes, listen, he's right. They obviously went out and brought Bellinger back. I just think you don't have to say it to, by the way, your constituents, the people that you are serving, and calling them morons. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
Again, this isn't a personal thing with Joel. I fully respect his work.
Listen to me. I'll tell you what to think.
Yeah, but Joel has a tendency to be a jackass sometimes. Just truth. Truth be told, okay? Not trying to start a war.
An ass clown?
Yeah. I have a tendency to be a jackass sometimes. I think everybody does. That is an instance of Joel being a jackass. Shut the blank up. Okay. Honestly, there is also going to be a degree of protecting where your
info come from.
Exactly. Bart Carlin.
See, nobody keeps it real like me. You know what I'm saying? I have no alliance to nobody, to nothing but the truth.
Speaking of keeping it real, Joe Fortenbaugh next, ESPN New York.
We expect our information in real time.
US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Free of charge, each and every week. Free of charge. It's what we love.
In the hood, we call it free 99.
Free 99. That's what Joe Fortenbaugh brings us. Free information. Absolutely no part of this 8 minutes is self-serving in any way.
He didn't even take the bye week.
He really hasn't. And here he is. He is Joe Fortenbaugh, ESPN betting analyst. He shows up every week. Durability. If you were trading for him, you would say durability. He's going to show up every day, and he's going to bring it.
He's the Mikal Bridges of sports betting.
There you go. I wouldn't call him Mikal Bridges because Mikal Bridges has not been good.
Okay, the AC Green.
Joe, you're the AC Green of sports betting. You're a virgin? I did not realize.
Minus the Jerry curl.
I was going to say, I've got a couple children, so not exactly sure.
That's right. AC Green was a virgin until he's 45. Or is AC Green still a virgin? What's the prop bet on that?
I don't know. Joe, let's look into that on Kalshi, will you?
Feels like we could have prepped that question before we went live, boys. Feels like we could have prepped
Maybe
that
give Joe a little heads up on the phone. Hey.
Yeah, but you wanna talk about something. Here's the thing: we always make the joke, "Oh, he appears free of charge," but then we launch into a bunch of great content. Get Up this week, great show on ESPN, has had me consulting on a lot of their WWE interviews because we have the Royal Rumble this weekend. I pitched a great idea yesterday. Here is a graphic of, I think it was 8 Get Up contributors and their odds to win a Get Up Royal Rumble.
Oh.
And do you know who I had number one in the odds?
Bart Scott.
Bartholomew Scott, 3-1, because not only does the man know how to wrestle, the man is big when it comes to baby oil. He's got more baby oil than anyone I've ever met, and you need baby oil if you're going to wrestle.
No diddy.
Bart Scott, number one, but they didn't even use the content.
No, that's crazy because guess what? Woody would get tired and just say, I'm tired, too tired, tap out. Ryan Clark, too little. Harry Douglas ain't in my weight class. He like Rey Mysterio. You know, I throw his ass over the rope so quick. You know what I'm saying? But also, I know every finishing move. I'm like Dean Malenko. I got 20 different ways to submit you. Crossface chicken wing, $1 Million Dream, Cobra clutch. Like I can hit you with the Boston Crab. I can hit you with the torture rack. Whatever you want. I can get your ass out of there.
Who would be the biggest threat to you amongst that Get Up crew? Louis Riddick's still in good shape.
Man, I got to go Marcus Spears, no?
Nah, Marcus don't want no smoke. You understand what I did to people that size. I grabbed Marcus Spears by the beard and hit him with the Bad News Brown kick to the back of the head.
Yeah, Carlin, you idiot. Don't you realize this?
And Chris, I'll just tease Chris, and he gets so mad, he'll run at me, and I'll just pull the tight rope, and he'll fall right over.
No. What I would be
I'm like Mr. Perfect. I'm a thinker.
What I would be like the bushwhacker Luke walking in, get in the ring, and then immediately get thrown over the other side.
Oh, yeah. I could see you doing that. I could see a little George the Animal Steel.
Yeah, we'll put some Manuka honey. We put some Manuka honey on the bear buckle. He'll start eating it. Manuka honey. How much this costs?
All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. I'll catch you next week.
Good night, everybody. Take care of your waitresses and bartenders. Joseph, I am fascinated as to the Giannis market and what that is going to look like before we get to some early Super Bowl prop bets. With Shams breaking the story yesterday that he could either be out of Milwaukee by next week at the deadline or by the offseason. If you were a betting man, and I think that's why we have you on the show, what would those markets look like if they haven't already been established as to where he ends up?
So you've got the 4 teams, Knicks, Minnesota, Miami, and the Warriors. Those were the 4 in the report. There could be others naturally. Here's what I would look at. There's one bet I've already made on this. That doesn't mean it's the only bet, but it's one. I'll give you an idea of how I'm thinking. The Golden State Warriors, right now, their win total is 43.5. So if you're going to bet the over, which is what I bet, they need 44 wins. Now, they're currently 27-22. So what I need to do to cash this over is go 17-16 the rest of the way. You get Giannis, that 43.5 price is going to be long gone. Now, if you don't get Giannis, you still might be able to grind away to 17-16 the rest of the way out. It's going to be tough with Jimmy Butler hurt, but there's still a chance. That's the first bet I made. That's the type of thing you want to think about. Think about where Giannis could go and then start looking at the current markets to see what you could exploit. The Knicks are already the favorites in the East at plus 340. So, I don't know, maybe you'd want to lock that price in because it drops to 2-1 or plus 150, but you still have a lot of season left. Injuries can derail you there. I'm not sure you want to necessarily get ahead of that. The Knicks to win the whole thing 14-1, but once you end up getting to it's one thing to escape the East. It's another thing to get past whoever the West is going to throw your way. So that's what you want to do. You want to look at the teams that could be in play, look at all the different markets that give you opportunities and try to exploit one. I'll tell you this, the Warriors are going to break the bank to get this done. It doesn't mean they will, but they are desperate. They know they are at the end of the Steph Curry era. They know that this might be their last shot to bring in reinforcements to make a run at it. I'm not saying it works, but you put Giannis with Draymond and Steph, you got a little something there where you might be able to make some noise. And Joe Lacob, the owner, is not adverse to making big moves. The Kuminga thing has been a disaster. The James Wiseman thing was a disaster. I could see them getting very aggressive here.
And Joe Fortenbaugh, very plugged in with the Warriors. Bob Myers once gave him courtside seats.
What?
Now, Bob's not there anymore. But listen, if there's anybody that's locked into what's going on, it's Joe Fortenbaugh.
And not to rain on the courtside seats, because it's the only time I ever sat courtside.
Ooh.
It was the COVID season when Steph was hurt. So Bob's a nice guy, but it was the worst Warrior season in the last 20 years.
And it was the Trailblazers.
Yeah, and also I did not realize they were going to be courtside seats when the deal was offered, and I may have tied one on a little too aggressively before I got there and realized there was free booze for everyone who sits courtside. Total rookie mistake. Did not deserve to be there.
What I would pay to see you cause an incident courtside, it would be amazing.
Well, I walked in and, my wife still hates me for this because we had just had our second child, and I got the offer day of, and we didn't have a babysitter. And I looked at her, and I was like, yeah, so Bob called about these tickets. I was thinking about going. She goes, oh, yeah, I guess. Where are they? I'm like, I don't know. They're supposed to be pretty good. I mean, he's the GM of the Warriors. They're his seats. And she's giving me this look, and I end up going with a buddy who showed up and, drank with me at the apartment in front of her before we left. It was a total rookie move.
You didn't trip Draymond when he was taking the ball off, did he?
No, I think he was sitting out that night, too. Do you remember that season? Clay was hurt.
Yeah.
Clay was hurt because of what happened against the Raptors in the finals. Steph got hurt, so then Draymond decided, screw this, and he didn't play in any of the games because he didn't want to participate. So, D'Angelo Russell was the star attraction.
I was going to say, heavy dose of Sean Livingston.
It was so bad the general manager didn't even want to watch.
Right. That's why those tickets are so easy to come by on a Friday night.
Joe Fortenbaugh with us. I was curious to get your reaction off of this past week with the UFC. Dana White calling off a fight when there was some unusual betting activity going on before the fight.
Once again, for those who think the rise of sports betting is going to lead to more corruption, it also leads to better regulation. This sort of thing would not have been detected 20, 25 years ago. It probably would have slid right through the cracks without so much as a mention. Now, they were able to shut it down before we even had the fight. So think about that. Now, I want to throw a couple things out there. People see something like this and they hear unusual betting patterns, and the first thought is, oh my God, the fix was in. I would caution you with that line of thinking, because what more than likely happened, and I'm not saying I know, but what more than likely happened is that someone leaked word that one of the fighters was hurt, and then people with that information ran to the window, they made some aggressive bets, it altered the price. That thing happens. For anyone who follows UFC, you know how Dana White feels about guys pulling out of fights day of, day before, 2 days before. So a lot of guys keep injuries very secret. They don't let you know about them, and they fight anyway because they don't want to fall into his bad graces. Look at Arman Sarukian. He's one of the absolute best in the business. He's been ducked a title fight for more than a year because when he was supposed to have a big fight, it was like the day of, he said he couldn't go. And that was the main event of the card that was at that new Clippers arena last January. And Dana's been preventing him from a title shot since. The guy is vindictive. So, a lot of these guys will fight hurt, and that's most likely what happened, at least in my opinion. Word probably leaked that one of the fighters was hurt, a lot of aggressive betting, and as a result, they shut it down out of precaution.
So tell me this, how does that affect the industry when you think about having false positives, right? Because, it could be many factors that change or make people want to go out and bet and for it to go one way where it causes alarms. But how many false positives can we get in? How conducive are we to giving their, attendees their money back and, shut down events? Because people put events like the fight this weekend with Shakur Stevens and Teofimo, right? That fight, what happens if somebody hurt themselves or hurt their knee or something like that, and then bets start going a crazy way? I spent my money. I'll stop attending events if that's me.
Great question. It's a great question, and it really comes down to how much information the people in those positions, like Dana White behind the scenes, have when this is happening. Right now, because the UFC has had a handful of betting scandals over the last few years, I think they're operating at an abundance of caution when they see something like this. But it isn't uncharacteristic for guys to go into fights hurt. I mean, Pacquiao allegedly had that shoulder injury when he went into that fight with Mayweather. And we're like, oh man, I can't believe Pacquiao looks like this. You find out later he was hurt, and we all feel like we got ripped off in that process. So I think it's an excellent question and concern on your behalf. No one wants to rip off Bart Scott. Nobody. We want to make sure we avoid that.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I think it really comes down to the information behind the scenes. So, they've done a really good job of keeping this stuff under wraps in the past. But you're right. I mean, someone leaks that info, and those lines go crazy. That's false positive is a good term, because a lot of people are going to be suspicious based on what we've seen in UFC, based on what we've seen in the NBA. The one good news for boxing, everyone thinks it's so corrupt to begin with, no one's going to bat an eye.
All right, short on time, so we'll get to all the Super Bowl prop bets.
Sorry, my fault about my fault.
That's okay. No. We'll get on the Super Bowl prop bets next week. Just give me one or two that you would jump on now before next week.
Kenneth Walker, the running back of the Seahawks, I go under. It's right around 76.5 rushing yards. It's already got hit when it was 82.5 to open. New England has a really good run defense, all right, especially when Milton Williams is playing. In the 12 regular season games with Milton Williams, they were only giving up about 80 rushing yards per game and 4 total rushing touchdowns. In the 5 games without him, they gave up $146 per game and 7 touchdowns. That's in just 5 regular season games. They were elite against the Chargers, the Texans, and the Broncos, holding those 3 to about 3.1 yards per rush in the postseason. I like Kenneth Walker. I just don't see him having a big game here. I think Seattle's going to throw a little bit more, and when they lean on the run, Walker's not going to have to do a ton, especially in terms of getting the 77-plus yards.
Okay, we'll jump the entire list next week. Can't wait. Thanks, brother.
No. I can't wait. I can't wait to put all that research in so I can join you two and your beautiful audience to give them all that information. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.
And we'll start next week on navel lint and how often you clean your belly button.
I like that. That's a good question. Let's open there. I would like an Arby's update, and then we'll recircle back on the baby oil.
Drove past one the other day, and I said, you know what? Going to keep going. Yep, I'm good.
Come on, man.
Joe Fortenbaugh, ESPN betting analyst. We're late. Top of the hour. In moments, we have high noon. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. And get this, if you're a new customer, all you have to do is bet $5, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done, so this is your last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
That's right. It is noon o'clock. Bart and Carlin. The ESPN New York YouTube page is buzzing with all kinds of comments. Carlin as Bam Bam Bigelow. That's from Arturo. Well, listen, all you got to do is paint the flames on the side of my head. And I'll tell you what.
You ever thought about that?
You know what? I did for Halloween one year. I don't think Bam Bam Bigelow gets the credit he deserves for the athlete that he was.
Bear, the cartwheel.
The dude who would do the flying headbutt off the top rope as the finisher. That dude could move.
The moonsault, too. Every once in a while, he hit the back flip.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely could do that. And listen, George the Animal Steel, that's a freaking layup for you people, okay?
You know he was a professor in real life?
I did know that.
Yeah.
I did know that.
Smart as hell.
Yeah.
The
And
smartest
I
people
don't want
play
to
the
be
best
Earthquake.
fools.
I don't want to be Tugboat. I don't want to be any of those guys, okay?
You could be Vader.
I could be Vader. Vader was a tough son of a gun. But, I didn't know this. Did you know that Vader was very difficult to work with, not because he was a jerk, but because he was bad at the moves.
Hurt people.
And hurt people. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Him and Goldberg. Goldberg was he was a hack. He was a hack. He messed up Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Like Bret Hart, man, this dude don't know. And
I love the fact that when you do something like that, they hit you with what they call a receipt.
Yeah. Oh, you messed me up. Oh, but I get you back.
Yeah, you're going to get one.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I guess that Vader may have paralyzed the guy. Like in one of the smaller wrestling venues or groups.
Right.
My God.
Just think, when he was in WWE, that's when he was at his best. You didn't see his way coming up through the wrestling school.
Everybody thought he was a great guy, great person, but as far as a wrestler.
He's massive, too.
Oof. Wow.
You know, what I saw the other day, it was a old tape of Ravishing Rick Rude repping out 405.
What do you mean repping out 405?
On the bench.
Oh, repping out.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like some 405 area code. Like, what is that, Oklahoma?
I got blows.
Hey, Rick Rude could get it.
Area codes.
Rick Rude.
Area codes.
Rick Rude could get it. That dude had a tremendous physique.
You know, one of the people that
I'd like to have right now.
For all you fat, out of shape
Louisiana losers.
Newark hoochies. Shut up and hit the music while I take off my robe
and show everybody what a real man looks like.
But he had the Tom Selleck
mustache.
Magnum PI mustache, but then he had like a bob. It was confusing. I like him when he cut it off and he got a modern day haircut. But he was like AC Green. Him and Ice Cube was the last people with the Jerry curl.
Yeah,
he was like the last one with the curly mullet.
Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York at noon. What does the noon mean?
It's the power hour. We don't know what we doing, and they don't know what we doing. That's the beauty of it. Let's go, Jets. I don't know.
It's also noon on Thursday, which means high.
It's high noon.
Greatest piece of production that we have.
My name.
Search court in Wichita, Kansas.
My name is Sam Chisholm.
Let me give it to you one more time so you can hear it.
My name is Sam Chisholm. I'm a duly sworn warrant officer of the search court in Wichita, Kansas.
Hey, until Denzel wanted to be a cowboy, I never knew this dude was built like SpongeBob. He got an ass like a pancake.
Who's got a flatter ass, me or Denzel?
Denzel got an ass like my dad.
Look, take a look. I got a flat ass.
Yeah, but you got a flat ass at the bottom, but at the top it's like you got like two little high peaks, like a little valley at the top. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy I got my mom's ass, and I know my mom listens, so I mean my mom's butt, because my dad got no top lip.
That makes it so much better.
No, my dad got no top lip and no butt. my whole game was explosive power, being able to roll them hips. And that's because moms gave me them thunder glutes. You know what I'm saying?
I suffer from chronic no acetol.
I know exactly what my dad was saying. When my mom like got the curly hair. She looked like Claire Huxtable back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? My mom was beautiful. Is beautiful.
I don't doubt it.
She just had this little mole too. It's like this picture, like when she holding us, and then she holding her hand. She got like this curly fro. Perfection.
Ooh.
Mom's was a 10.
All right, let's get to it. Of course, High Noon is 3 questions every week that we're going to disagree on, so let's go.
Round 1, fight. Would you rather trade for Giannis now or in the offseason?
I mean, we've already made this mistake with Carmelo. when you try and sign somebody during season, it's going to cost you more. We always talk about in New York as a whole. We talk about that New York tax. You're going to get that Knicks tax, that desperation tax. You're going to get that tax because he knows that that the organization is bending to his will and they're not getting the best return. So they're going to try. They may leave us without enough to be able to win a championship, which I don't mind because if they don't, where's my dollar? It means my Pistons go.
$1. Should we make the jar of Venmo?
We'll get an actual.
Do you
physical...
have Venmo?
No, somebody I have a Venmo, but I only used it for international stuff. When I send money international,
well, that just sounds like you're doing some money laundering.
But now I keep getting a reset thing for it, and I'm not gonna click on it and reset it, so whoever trying to hack into my Venmo can get it. So stop, because I'm not gonna reset it. I don't reset anything that come to me from somebody saying, "Oh, this is messed up. Reset this. Hit this link." Hell no. I'm gonna call Venmo.
We'll have a physical swear jar next week.
Okay, so no Venmo.
I got Cash App and Zelle, though.
So at the moment, you would not trade for him until the offseason.
I wouldn't. It's going to cost you too much. And when have we ever seen somebody – well, we've seen it a couple of times where you get somebody in the middle of the season and it leads you to a championship.
I would say that I would absolutely do it now if I felt like my better chance to get him now and the market to get him now was going to be smaller than it would be in the offseason. I think teams will – I don't want to give other teams a chance to align their salary cap and other assets they have to go and get him.
But it's already teams that can do that.
Now, let me ask you this, though. This is my general take on it. If I can get him now, I get him now. And frankly, Bart, I would sit him down. I would not get him to play him now and go win now. It's a calf injury. I don't want to screw around with that. I don't want to rush him back too soon because we know what happens and what that leads to, and that's a torn Achilles. What I want is him for next year being able to be ready and to go. I think that's where they would be best served. So you'd be giving up this season a bit, but I wouldn't have a problem with it if you felt like that was going to be your best opportunity to get him.
But this year is your best opportunity because the East is so weak. Next week you got Tatum to deal with, and now you're allowing Jaylen Brown to see his superpowers. You got Tyler Hattenberg, who's put on 30 pounds of muscle. He's 230 now, so now he's going to be tougher to deal with. And guess what? The Pacers and all those guys are going to be bad for 1 year, and they're going to be so low that they're going to get a good draft pick or the ability to get a good draft pick to trade.
Round 2, fight. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer?
Yes, eventually. Just simply because he has 2 titles. But it gets to the point now. We're getting to the point now if you try and project in the future, if Eli gets in, you're just going to be putting other people in there no matter what. You're going to put Patrick Mahomes in. Then Jalen Hurts going to have an opportunity to say, well, Drew Brees got in. Look at my numbers. Look at my winning percentage, right? And we know what a Hall of Famer is when we look at it. And, when Ben comes up, Ben should be a Hall of Famer before Eli Manning because he won in between his Super Bowl runs. He always won. You talk about Mike Tomlin never having a losing season, neither did Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the catalyst. He was the driver. His yards he threw for. Like, he threw for less interceptions than Eli Manning. Eli Manning also has the record for interceptions as well.
So here's the deal. Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, but let's not make this as cut and dried as people make it out to be. I'm not going to take away the 2 Super Bowls. There's one quarterback who's won 2 Super Bowls who's not in the Hall of Fame.
Plunkett, Duckett.
Yeah, exactly. Jim Plunkett. of anybody else that was already eligible to get in, okay? Eli, I believe, is going to get in. But the idea that it is just a flat-out no-brainer, you look at the yardage career, he's up there at in a top 11 of that. I heard Dave this morning try to make this argument that if Eli Manning quit after 10 years, there would be no debate that he was a Hall of Famer, that his numbers would have been so much better and he wasn't have been a 500 quarterback because of what happened. But the problem is, Dave, he didn't quit. And all of those other numbers still go on his record. If you look at Roethlisberger is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And as a Steeler fan, I don't love Roethlisberger because of all the personal off-the-field stuff, but he's just a dumbass when it comes to that. And frankly, I think he says things now to get attention and to still be a part of the discussion in Pittsburgh. Having said all of that, go look at Ben's numbers versus Eli's numbers. It's not close.
This is the thing.
Not close.
This is the thing. Out of that class, Eli was the third best quarterback. Phillip Rivers was a better quarterback than him. You can, man, listen. Just because you don't win a championship, I'm talking about straight up playing that position.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers was that dude. And he just so happened to not be able to ever beat the Patriots.
Eli's a Hall of Famer. Let's not get all bent out of shape that it hasn't happened yet.
But listen, I'm not even in the house. Eli's on the first floor. It's a 20 floor apartment.
Yeah. I mean, Ben has...
He down there with the bus because I didn't believe the bus was listen, I love the bus. We friends.
Yeah.
He's not a Hall of Famer. He's a compiler. Yeah. And at one point, Frank Gore is going to be that too. He's a guy that compiled a bunch of yards because he played for so long. He had the ability to play and get picked up by people, so his numbers are going to look better than he was as far as being dominant.
If you took Ben out and you retired him after 10 years, he also would have been a Hall of Famer at that point. But guess what? The rest of it counts, and his career record is 165-81. That is more than 2-1. Yeah. And the career touchdowns and interceptions, 418-211. Ben's first ballot. Eli will get in.
Yeah, he's Kevin Green of the quarterbacks.
All right. Just had to spend that time defending Ben.
Round 3, fight!
What's worse, defend Aaron Rodgers next. Is he a first ballot?
The cold?
Okay, let me ask that question again.
What's worse, the snow or the cold?
Oh, for me, it's the snow because the snow is inconvenient. The cold, you can change that. You can go inside if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can dress accordingly. You know what I'm saying? If you even have to, you can put on a onesie. You know what I mean? You can put on long johns. You can change the cold. The snow is inconvenient because it depends on how much snow we're talking about. But a lot of snow can get on your damn nerves because it ruins everything, especially if you got to get it out. Now, it don't have to be cold or snow. It can still be warm outside and snow.
Ish.
But, to try and have to move it out the way and it's in the way, it's slowing traffic down, people driving crazy. Yeah, I'd much rather deal with the cold than the snow.
So here's the deal. This morning I told you about my traffic mess of driving on 78 East in New Jersey on the local side, trying to get to the Holland Tunnel. And I decided that I wanted to try to cross over into the express lane. I got into the local side by accident. Of course, there was traffic. I wanted to get over the express lane. And yes, sometimes I will look to take advantage of the opening that is there in the median. And there was a lot of snow in the median. And today, as I tried to drive over in my non-SUV, my car got stuck. And I was pretty pissed off at the snow. The snow really aggravated me to no end. I'm out there the other day shoveling. The snow sucks. The cold is so much worse because the snow does not punch you in the face when you walk out the door. The cold hits you with a roundhouse right. And if you have to walk more than, let's say, 20 yards, you're going to feel it the entire way. Take that, add it into getting in your car. You don't have a remote start. You're going to freeze your ass off for the next 5-6 minutes as your car warms up. So unless you're an entitled individual like Bart, really the cold cannot be definitively eliminated. Here's the other problem with the cold. I have 3 levels of cold weather gear, okay? A light cold weather jacket, a medium cold weather jacket, and a heavy cold weather jacket. When I put on the heavy cold weather jacket, it's got, like some fur inside. I'm going to sweat on the inside, and I'm going to be freezing on the outside. And that is not a good combination. That's how you get sick.
Back butter with a runny nose.
The cold sucks.
But I thought because you're a big man, you always want it cold as hell in here. I think that because you're a big man, you like it cold.
I like it cold inside. I like it. I don't want it to be 62 in here. I wouldn't 68. That would be comfortable. That's all. I don't need it to be 76, Dave Rothenberg. Dave, who has already turned 76 years old and may as well be in Boca, trying to get in front of the heater. Like, Dave never likes it cold in here.
In the little scooter with the basket in the front?
Yes, Dave would have a little scooter with the basket in the front. I'm just picturing Dave and Rick living in the same retirement community in Florida, and Rick driving up in his souped-up golf cart. Yeah.
I can see Rick in there with the little shuffleboard thing where you push the thing on the thing with the big
But Rick
stick.
would have like the professional gloves for shuffleboarding.
Don't want to get no calluses.
See, they got their segment, Did It Happen in Florida, every Thursday. The answer to that would be yes for every story that RJ would read for
Yes,
them.
yes, exactly. It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. We have been all over the place today in terms of the discussions with the Jets, with the both staffs, offensive and defensive, and what exactly has transpired here, because Aaron Glenn changing his mind in the middle of bringing in Wink Martindale and then saying, I am going to call some of the plays. Was that handed down from above? Or was that Aaron Glenn? Considering that we had Connor Hughes on earlier, and he was talking about the fact that has happened before when it gets handed down from above, would not be shocked if that's the case. Then you've got Giannis, who is now available, and we haven't spent much time talking about this today, but Shams put out the report yesterday about Giannis and about the possibility of him getting out of Milwaukee sooner rather than later.
Sources tell me he is ready. He is prepared to move forward with his career elsewhere, either at the deadline or in the offseason. And what's changed here is the Bucks' approach and process. They're getting tons of aggressive offers right now in Milwaukee. They are listening to those offers. Those offers have consisted of all-star caliber players, multiple draft picks.
It's funny. We talked to Bobby Marks the other day, and he did not think that the value in talking to other people was going to be what we thought it would be. And then you hear Shams saying they're already getting aggressive offers for Giannis.
Yeah, two sides to every coin. I just when looking at the Spurs and how they won yesterday, but looking at how they got Wemby on the count, I can just see the Spurs saying, "Listen, we need to get some wins. We don't know how long we're gonna have Wemby. He hurts his feet. He works his ass off to make sure that he can stay healthy. You look at his warm up on one leg, all that stuff he does before, trying not to be one of these big guys that usually ultimately careers ruined because of their feet. But you got to say, hey man, our guy's a guy right now, but we got him on minutes restrictions already. He if he misses like maybe 5 more games, he's not eligible for postseason awards, right? This is a guy that should be Defensive Player of the Year, maybe an MVP. Get him a guy like Giannis that can take some of the heavy lifting from him, where he don't have to jump and try and defend every ball, everything to the rim, and conserve him so that you can get a better life expectancy out of a guy like Wemby.
All right, let's hit some calls. 800-919-3776. D in Queens has been waiting a while. Appreciate your patience, D. What's up, buddy?
One thing with Bart, and a lot of wrestlers come from football, you are a wrestler, bro. You should actually pursue it. You could get big like The Rock. You have that personality. Like, dead serious. No BSing, nothing. I'm being dead serious.
We know you got the promo down.
Thing is, though, man,
you have the personality. You have the personality for acting and for wrestling. You have that personality.
I'm too old to get to have ACL surgery or something like Big Nash tore his quad. When I went and wrestled, Hulk Hogan was when we were doing a promo and he was practicing to see if he could get in and out of the ring because he had just had back surgery. He was 6'4". He said because his back doing the leg drop so much, it's compacted his spine. He was 6'4". Then when he had the surgery, he was back to 6'6". Huh. I'm like,
It's funny you bring that up about size because I want to talk about the Knicks and also the Hall of Fame. One, Dave sounded like a lunatic today. He said Eli's better than Warren Moon. I'm like, Warren Moon's stats are depressed because of racism.
Yeah, he played in Canada.
Okay, if you know, you know.
Dave, you're a racist.
Okay? He had to spend 6 years in Canada for nonsense. Like, I
didn't mean it.
Like, if people don't know
talking about football racism.
That's why that was just wow. Like, when he said that about Warren Moon, I was like, bro, you sound crazy. Like, Warren Moon's way better than Eli. Like,
it ain't even close. Warren Moon's the 6 years in Canada, he was the man. They wanted to change his position.
It's not even close. Yeah, so it's not even close. As for the Knicks, it's funny you brought up size. Same thing with Giannis. You brought up Russell Westbrook. Again, he's an anomaly. And you see what you brought up with Wemby, where like Wemby's not going to make it past 32. I think the Spurs even know that. Yeah, he's not. Like Dwight Howard, all those young, springy, tall guys age out fast. Like LeBron is one of one in a lot of different ways.
Chet Holmgren as well. Well, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the only big man that played for a long time, but even Chet Holmgren is going to
he wasn't athletic like these dudes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I bring to Giannis. I'm like, yo, Knicks. Yeah, look about it. Would the Knicks be way better right now if they had Randall and DiPietro? Same exact coach, everything, but just those two, and cheaper.
Yeah, the only problem with that is we get nervous about Mitchell Robinson, because that means you have to depend on Mitchell Robinson to be your 5.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Mitchell Robinson can't play with what's the name, Giannis, because they're spacing. So there's that. Okay, so careful what you wish for, Knicks fans. Y'all keep clamoring for him. I'm like, listen, at 31,
I get that. It's still hard to pass that up, man. Like, it's still hard to think that you can't get another championship out of him.
Yeah, but how much, at what cost? Who you losing? And how does that affect your depth? And with his calves hurting and he got to miss some games.
I don't mind shutting him down for the rest of the year, I have to tell you.
But this the year you're trying to win.
I know.
This the year where the East is supposed to be weak.
I understand. But Boston has not made it all that weak. They've been much better than we anticipated.
And who else has made it strong?
Who's playing well? The Pacers? Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Game time. Brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Rangers hosting the Islanders. Coverage begins 6:30 on 880 ESPN and on the ESPN New York app. 7 o'clock, Devils, Predators. 9 o'clock, Nets, Nuggets. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying a Tullamore Dew responsibly. Bart Carlin on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube channel where you should be watching, you should be commenting, and we get some of those comments in moments on Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Hey, New York and New Jersey, commitment issues? No problem. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever, as in for life. Switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, you may experience slower speeds. Pay $25 a month as long as you stay on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $189 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM844681, MSRP $29,075. Zero security deposit, ends 2/2/26.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Rich Eisen here. LinkedIn Jobs is stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around for at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. And promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Many different suggestions coming in on the YouTube chat as to what WWE wrestler I could be. And listen, there are obviously the bald fat guys that come and go that we understand are very much in the mix. Here are some interesting ones, though. Mike Walsh, Carlin could be Cactus Jack, but he'd have to get a hell of a wig. Yeah, I would.
See, that's the problem. We haven't seen you with hair, so people
not since 2003.
So they can't project to see what you look like because they only have this image of you.
Yeah, I
which is far, which is not consistent with.
There was a match with Kane where they had a what do you call it?
Well, you got the blue eyes like Kane.
A tag team match.
Isaac Jacobs.
Kane and Sir Isaac, or Dr. Isaac Yankem. So when you look back at some of the things they tried to pass off, oh my God. You know what's funny? If you remember this, I've seen a lot. All this stuff is coming across my algorithm these days. Yeah. That when Undertaker was going to make his debut at the Survivor Series one year, they had this other bit going on that there was this giant egg that was going to hatch at the Survivor Series that was just sitting there. Yeah. And he found out, he's like, oh, God, I'm going to be Eggman. Like, he didn't know what he was going to do. He was going in for a meeting. He's like, oh, my God, they're going to make me Eggman. This is going to suck.
Go have the omelet as a finisher instead of the tombstone.
No, but like some of the stuff that comes
the
across.
Gonzalez, when they put the fur on the tight and they airbrush
oh my God, they airbrush the body on him. Oh my God, the giant Gonzalez. And then I get this a lot. Paul Heyman is the best fit for Carlin. A lot of people say that I sound like Paul Heyman. I get that a lot. I've got a picture of him on Instagram that I was trying to find yesterday, me and him, and classic Paul Heyman. Like, he was in studio over for First Take one day, and I was able to get a picture with him, and he put me over in the picture by just looking at me like, look at this jackass.
You know who Ray can be? Jim Ross.
Ray can pull off
God,
Jim Ross.
hit him with the freaking game.
Do you know I may have told you this already.
He came in with us one time, remember?
He did. He did with
before he went over to the new one.
CMB. He was. I love Jim Ross. Good dude. Do you know the biggest regret of my professional career? There was a time about 20 years ago.
Should have went.
Where I had a chance to audition to be a WWE announcer.
You should have went.
Just to audition. And I thought, no, I want to be a serious broadcaster. No. I absolutely should have gone.
Yeah, you should have. Because you imagine, like, them putting you in a match, you got to come out with the King Kong Bundy leotard.
They're going to make me throw on the amateur wrestling headgear.
Who was the guy, the coach that was there for a while?
The coach, Jonathan Coachman.
And then he tried to be like a wrestler. Like, he was cool for like a while. He just stayed out of it. Then they made him a wrestler.
Are you talking about the coach like Jonathan Coachman, the announcer, or the guy who was a manager called the coach who was blowing the whistle?
No, the Coachman, the guy that was the announcer.
He ended up going to SportsCenter.
Did he?
Yeah, he went to ESPN for a while after that, and then I think he went back.
What did he do? Get fired for?
I don't know.
Fired from ESPN for being?
I don't think he got fired. I don't know if it just didn't work out or whatever. But he went from. He's the only guy that's gone from wrestling to mainstream, kind of broadcasting. And I thought, no, I'm going to be a serious broadcaster. I don't want to do that. I should have gone.
Yeah,
I should have gone. Never say no to an opportunity.
That was your Mr. What's that Mr. Glory thing where he hit the home run? Mr. Destiny?
Oh yeah.
That was your Mr. Destiny
moment.
Yeah,
exactly.
You didn't swing.
I could have been Peter.
You Beltrined it. Took ball. Took strike 3. Looking.
That damn curveball. Brooklyn Kev is up on ESPN New York. Brooklyn Kev, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Yo.
Yeah, hey, Bart Carlin. I appreciate you guys knowing the difference in your Cavs. You got Long Island, you got Brooklyn Cavs, formerly Amtrak Cavs. But I want to talk to you about Aaron Glenn. He needs to get those coordinators that got experience so he can earn his chops as a head coach. I think he's going to be fine, but he just got to give himself some time to build up his coaching cachet. So he already whiffed on Wink. He got to get Rice in there.
Listen, I think you have to go 1 for 2 if you weren't going to get Wink. Reich would be one of them. The other guys on the list yesterday, the tight ends coach from Dallas was on the list. Like, that does nothing for me.
Greg Roman.
Okay. We're going down that road again? Like, I don't know.
You got to get I've never seen him with a traditional drop back quarterback.
No, I would feel good about Frank Reich. I would feel pretty good about that.
I mean, Greg has always had good ranking offenses, but people always talk about his lack of sophistication in the passing game. He was a great – Greg Roman was with me all the way back with Brian Billick when Jamal Lewis ran for 2,000 yards. He was a run game coordinator.
Next.
If you can't get him as an OC, get him as something else.
What else you got?
Well, the Knicks with their trading, they got to get Giannis. They haven't proven that they can win with this group. So go get a star and go from there. It's nothing like starting over in New York.
Listen.
I mean, he instantly would become, 1, the best player on your team. But 2, I mean, you talk about the endorsements. I mean, it's certain guys that you pay to go see. Giannis is one of them.
Yep.
Box office.
No doubt.
Old school, too. He ain't trying to train with a brick in the offseason. He taking his ass right back to Greece when he leave.
Gilbert in the truck. Next, ESPN New York. Gilbert, what's up, baby?
Hey, what's up, Colin? What's up, Bart?
What it do, baby?
Bart, you know that Colin looks like Paul Heyman, man.
He do.
Like, you guys are promoting on the app. You're promoting the Royal Rumble, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so then, Bart, why don't you do a double promotion with your thing on when is the Royal Rumble? Saturday?
I believe it's Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys come in tomorrow and do a segment fully, WWE, voices and everything. Answer
he's
the callers
Paul
with that voice of Paul Heyman. You play Paul Heyman all day, Colin. All you got to do is put on a
Booker
suit.
T. I'm gonna be
That's it.
Booker. I'll be Booker T then. I was gonna say Virgil.
You gonna do the spin Rudy?
Whoever you choose to be. Right now, I'm going to tell you, Bart, Carlin's going to take the cake because everybody loves him as Paul Heyman. All right, well, two other things, man. We spoke about Aaron Glenn.
Yep.
So it was too many mistakes during the season. The 3 games that they won, fine, all power to him. He won too many games. He doesn't know how to control the press. He doesn't know how to speak to people. He doesn't even know how to treat his own coordinators and coaches. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this, bro. I think the Jets should have got out of him with all these coaches changing, teams and whatnot. I think the Jets would have did real good, man, because it looks like a total bomb. Let me know what you think, Carlin. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Paul Heyman.
It's gonna be tough, like to hire new coaches too, in my opinion, unless you're upgrading them. To get a guy that used to be a linebackers coach, or to get a guy that used to be a tight ends coach, or used to be this coach, it's gonna be hard to get in because don't think that falls short on what Connor said. The coaching staff was blindsided. Like the coaching fraternity isn't that big. That's why you see guys just get rotated over and over and over again. You don't see a lot of new blood in here. And if somebody knows that they felt like they were blindsided, that's going to carry over. And when it comes down to to saying, do I want to go here or do I want to go there? I'm not going to want to go somewhere where somebody just reportedly did their blindsided their staff and did them wrong.
Yeah.
Like, so how is it going to be? You think people didn't want to come before? You think I want to come now? When they say when Connor's saying the staff was blindsided, they was going as business as usual because they're like, oh well, it's been a month. We must be safe. It's like when you get home, when you mess up in school and the teacher's gonna call and you get past a certain point, like, whew, maybe she's gonna call tomorrow. Damn! Bart, get in here. Like, damn!
I got it, Mom. Don't worry.
Damn!
Let me talk to your mom. She's not home.
Right.
Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Listen, I know the mentality. You try to play through pain and walk it off. Push through one more day. But when it comes to neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, that's a losing game. That's when you call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain. Dr. Shaw is one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he focuses on non-surgical solutions that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no dependence on pain meds. He builds you a custom game plan for you so that you can move better, feel better, and live pain-free. Same day or next day appointments are available. Visit SandwellPain.com. Stop managing pain. Start beating it.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
All the way over Barzell, score! New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ah, the Internet, a place where your curiosity can flourish, unless online threats stop you. The Internet is wonderful, but you need to protect yourself online. Protect yourself online with NordVPN. NordVPN encrypts your browsing. Its Threat Protection Pro feature helps you block malware, avoid phishing, and stop digital trackers. Get the best deal at NordVPN.com.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Hell no, ain't no shout out to World Wide West. He's been the biggest fraud we've ever heard. We heard that he was the deal maker, the mover and shaker. He ain't got us nothing. You lied, Jigga. West ain't plugged like we thought he was. He ain't got us nobody. If you plugged like we thought you was, get us Giannis then. World Wide West. Shout out to World Wide West. I was like when he's better when he was in the shadows. Gave him a formal job. Now he can't make nothing happen. Shout out to World Wide West.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page, I put the picture up of me and Paul Heyman from a couple of years ago on Twitter at Chris Carlin. It is
separated at birth.
It is separated at birth, but here's the biggest problem for it. That was at a level of fat for me that when I smiled, if I kind of smiled, like all the fat took over my face and it looked like my eyes were closed.
Not like now, baby. 22 down and going, baby. Wait.
All right, well, let's not get nuts, okay? Again,
now
get chair off to Queen Mary.
Don't lose it too fast. Like, you don't want to be looking like fat bastard. Get in my belly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to let the skin get opportunities. Skin is your biggest organ that you have, and you got to let it get elastic and shrink up with you. Get that collagen and all that stuff striked into it. You don't want to like fat bastard.
That's the one thing that I would do. Like if I had the extra skin, I would absolutely get the surgery.
Oh yeah, you got to cut that off.
Get that. I can't.
Rex did, but then he gained all the weight back. He lost the weight, had the surgery, gained the weight back, and now it's back stretched out.
I have to tell you, like for me, I can't. If I end up losing a number that I'm comfortable with, I can't let that happen. I can't let that happen.
What's the goal, 80?
I don't know. I have started taking numbers out of it as far as goals because I find that if I could just focus on the health part of it and not get caught up in it, then it spends less time in my head of overthinking it.
But you're gonna have to lift some weights.
Oh, I know.
Because you got to replace the fat that you're losing with something to fill the space up. Now, muscle don't fill up as much space as fat, but and it weighs more than fat. But you're gonna have to do that.
Here's what I want. I want to get to the point where you could lift up my shirt in the front and you could lift up Rick's shirt in the front. And you can't tell whose body is whose.
Oh,
that's what I want.
ducky.
That's what I want to know.
Rick turning inside out. He getting in so much shape.
Well, listen, he's got to do something when you're losing all that hair like that.
See, now I got to look at Rick. I've never seen Rick without a hat.
You've never seen him without a hat?
Huh.
If Rick goes to the gym and, like, he's getting on the scale, he's getting out of the shower.
Take the beanie off for a second.
Put a hat on before you get on the scale. People can't see what's going on. Blink, blink, blink. They're all just jumping off Hair Island.
You trying to tell Rick to join the club?
You better get some substitutions in there. Better get the cavalry in there, my friend. Get some planting done.
No, Rick got some hair under there, man.
Okay.
He just like hats.
Okay. Likes them a lot. Likes them a lot for somebody with all that hair. Likes them a lot. Tessa in West Caldwell. Tessa, you've been way too patient today. How are you?
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for taking my call. I appreciate it. Carlin, what about, you would have to get a blonde wig, but what about Dusty Rhodes? You think you can do that?
Oh, the American Dream.
You know?
When he came to WWE, it was my first introduction to him. I never knew him before that, and I loved him. The atomic elbow, absolutely.
A lot of people didn't know he was black.
He was amazing.
They did all the little vignettes with him where he's out pumping gas in the country.
I never knew he was black.
He's black?
Because I'm a huge wrestler.
I never knew that.
That hair didn't curl like that for a reason.
Carlin, don't listen to Bart. My favorite wrestler is Undertaker, and then 1B is the Ultimate Warrior. So I'm a huge wrestling fan. So I thought about Dusty Rhodes. I was like, Carlin could do Dusty Rhodes with a nice blonde wig.
I loved Warrior back in the day, but I found out what a bad, nightmare he was.
Hard times.
He just, I don't know, his energy. I was Ultimate Warrior for I think I was like in the 4th grade. I was Ultimate Warrior for Halloween.
I remember the Undertaker scared the hell out of me.
I love the Undertaker. Yeah. With a black wig, you could be the Paul Bearer. With a black wig, you could do that too if you want to. But
I'd rather go Heyman than Paul Bearer.
No, let's get him a lace. Let's get him a lace front. Let's get him a lace front.
We could do a lace front, Bart. You are right. But speaking of Bart, because today I'm not going to get all upset and sad and depressed because they keep playing Eli out. He will get in. Probably third time, but they are trying to just play him out now, I feel like. But I'm not going to get upset about that. But I do want to make a comment real quick about Bart as well, and then if I can, the Giants. Bart, you're so freaking knowledgeable about football. Even the way you break things down when you say, for people that might not understand it. You talked about former players coming back. You talked about even, with the black coaches and all that. Why haven't you thrown your hat in the ring? I'm going to be honest with you. I would take you as a defensive coordinator for the Giants. You know how I feel about my team, but, why don't you try to pursue something? I know you've got everything great going on now. You're amazing at what you do now. But have you ever thought about, in the next couple of years, going in trying to be a DC or defensive back coach, anything like that? Because I think you would be amazing, Bart, and that's for real.
I have, as a linebackers coach. I've been offered or asked this probably for the last 10 years. But my kids are getting older, so maybe.
Did you ever get close?
Not really, because I don't like it. I don't like how they treated Ed Reed when he went in trying to worry about him going to make copies and stupid stuff like that. I hate the fact that, this whole little fraternity thing that they try and treat former actual players. They try and treat them dirty. You know what I mean? I'm not about to come here. They make them do stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Like had Ed Reed making copies and stuff. Man, I ain't got time for all this stuff, man. Listen, I'm here to coach. I don't mind, paying my dues or whatever. But if anybody should be able to skip the line, it should be former players that played at a high level that have the football acumen. You know what I mean? But you got to think, a lot of people are insecure, right? A lot of people are insecure. A lot of coaches are insecure because they know they don't have that I played gene.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't have the I coach gene, but they don't have the I played gene. They can tell people what to do, but they can't tell you how to do it. They can't take the player in deep and talk about the why, the how, and the what. They can just say the why.
Craig, he's up in Lansing, Michigan next. ESPN New York. Craig, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's happening? Bart, you brought up the hip-hop stuff earlier, and I just want to share with you real quick before I go into what I was going to say. 1994, man. I listened to some rap. I was like, man, I really like this stuff. It's better than what it was a couple years ago. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get some records today, some CDs. So I go in and listen to what I walk out with. This is all in one day. First purchase. I come up with super.
Catalytic. You talk about Outkast?
Yeah, Outkast. I come out with Illmatic and Thug Life all in the same day, like it was my perfect purchase.
You went all over the world too. You went to the South. You went to the West Coast. Went to the East Coast.
Yeah, man, I was down south in Atlanta. I mean, I was everywhere. So, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was interesting that you said that. I was like, man, you know what? He's right. Everybody is getting older. But so the Hall of Famer thing, so I knew it was a joke when they didn't vote T.O. in first ballot because I'm like, he's got 153 touchdowns. Only Randy and Jerry got more, and Randy's got him beat by 3. That's it. He's got like 70 more. 70 more touchdowns than Calvin Johnson. Granted, he played a little bit longer, but that was a joke. But now you go to Belichick, and he's got 6 Super Bowl rings plus another 2. I mean, that's the grand total of the only other 3 guys that were first ballot Hall of Famers as coaches: Don Shula, Chuck Noll, and Tom Landry. You got 2 for Tom, 2 for Don Shula, and 4 for Noel. But he's got enough rings, 2 as a defensive coordinator, 6 as a head coach. And so now, to me, it's a joke, man. I mean, I can't. And if you're going to not vote for somebody, man, you got to put your name on that.
Yeah, they put Bill Cowher in there pretty quickly, and like Bill Cowher got 1 Super Bowl. But you know what Bill Cowher was? He was nice to the media. And you know what T.O. and Bill Belichick were? They weren't nice. They didn't kiss ass. And that's what they is. And so, like, a lot of these voters are egotistical little boys who got picked on and bullied in the sandlot.
Bill Cowher won a lot regular season, but then for the longest time couldn't get over the hump. Like, he didn't win a Super Bowl until his second to last year, and he lost the other Super Bowl against the Cowboys. Listen.
Yeah, he was Dan Reeves, basically, until he won one.
He was a very, very good coach. Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah. Marty Schottenheimer. Come on, man.
Yeah, like when you win that much, but then you don't win consistently in the playoffs, like that's a thing. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page, we have a massive Friday show coming tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. We've got a massive Thursday Michael K. show. That is coming up next, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Right here on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com. That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Calling all Hoops fans. Get off the bench and onto the court for another exciting basketball season with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA.